8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
If you're rolling over your 401k to an IRA soon, but not sure if you want to go all in on this crazy market, here's what many retiring professionals are doing. How about a safe and secure IRA offering a contractually guaranteed 10% income bonus that grows 7% annually guaranteed? Your income can double in 10 years. Meanwhile, neither your principal nor your retirement income is ever subjected to a market downturn. Even if the market crashes by 50%, you get the 10% bonus. Your income keeps growing at 7%, and your principal may grow without losses uncapped. You go up with the index, never down, forward, never back. Get a 10% income bonus with a 7% contractually guaranteed growth rate. I compare over 1,200 annuities with a fiduciary duty and can help you retire and stay retired.
Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now. Visit IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event when Dave, the sales guy, asks, want to test drive the Rogue? And I'm like, let's go. We're driving when Dave says, check out the VC turbo engine. I hit the gas and whoosh. I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Dave goes, if you think that's cool, watch this. Dave shows me the miles per gallon and I'm like, whoa, that's pretty impressive fuel economy. Dave mentions, these new cars are going fast. And in that moment, I had to have that Rogue. Crazy, right?
Wait till you hear how I got my Sentra.
Now Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city, 34 highway to 30 city, 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. MSRP excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He's currently on the island of Nunya damn business. So we got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Is it just me, or is like almost every website having problems these days? Like, I was trying to use my Yahoo email because I'm 90 years old. So I'm trying to use my Yahoo email, and then it's all glitching out on Chrome. And then I open up Mozilla, and it's working fine. And now I'm trying to post the show link for you guys for the YouTube thing on Facebook, and that's all hung up and won't work for me. I don't know. Is it just me?
I don't know if it's just you, but I haven't experienced anything today.
Maybe it's just me. I'm certainly trying to get this stuff done. Well, whatever the case. So I've got it on the 1580, the Fanatic Facebook for people. People complain if I don't put this stuff in here. Let's see. Monkey Puncher says, will my dreamboat Dylan Cohen be on today? I've been waiting all day for his betting advice. Yes, he will be on today at about 3:20. So there you go. Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Want to say thank you to Keon's Washington Nationals for laying a giant egg this week at Chase Field, allowing the Diamondbacks to keep pace with the San Diego Padres for the last and final wild card spot. With the win today, we will be tied with the Padres for that final wild card spot. Now, I'm just going to say, sorry, dude.
You're first off, Big George, you're welcome. I told you yesterday, at the end of the show, Jeffrey said, we were going through what was coming up, and he said Patrick Corbin was on the mound. I said, enjoy your W.
Yep, and you are correct.
He's been washed for a long time, man.
But by the way, this game over at Chase Field right now is not over. It's 5-1 Diamondbacks over the Nationals, top of the 8th. And if the Diamondbacks can come from behind and win games, so can the Nationals. So Don't count yourself out,
Yeah,
pal.
I mean, the Diamondbacks are just a better team, though. Like I would expect that kind of thing from the Diamondbacks.
I just wanted to say nice things.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, but you don't have to sugarcoat it. I know it's not a good baseball team, but they scrap and they fight. But when you have a start like what Patrick Corbin had, where it's like 11 runs given up in 2 innings, there's nothing to fight for. Everybody quit in that game, and it started with the pitcher. And they're not going to do anything about it because Corbin was on the World Series team and he was a huge part of it. And so like he's going to get to ride off into the sunset however he sees fit.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just you got to focus on the young guys. That's where I'm at right now.
Well, he got the ever loving bleep knocked out of him yesterday.
Bad.
Holy God.
Really bad.
So he allowed him singularly he allowed 11 runs, 10 earned, 13 hits in only 3 innings. Holy cow.
Yeah. I mean, and
his ERA is now 38.
You wouldn't believe how good a pitcher he used to be based on
If
that.
we hadn't seen it for ourselves, we may not have believed it. Average Joe says, good afternoon. 17-0, Keon. 17-0. I take no joy in this, guys. I mean, I'm glad we got the win. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Look,
but I don't like seeing poor Keon and his team demoralized and beaten down into nothingness.
I said before the series, Diamondbacks were going to win the series, and specifically they were going to win big last night. They're obviously the better team. I think we all know that.
Well, we're going to find out, if they can keep it going on the next game. I mean, right now they're finishing up with the Washington Nationals, but guess who's back? They're going back to Pittsburgh, and that's not as easy as you think. We won the last series, but they are a good team, and they might do unto us as we have done unto them. That's biblical right there. How you like that?
Yeah, but also Skeens is pitching today, which means when they play the Diamondbacks, he's probably not going to be pitching in that series.
Oh,
so
I am crushed.
It makes it just a little bit easier.
Crushed. Just okay. Moving on. Very happy. And Eugenio Suarez, he's got to be pretty happy right now with 3 home runs, and the team. Everybody who started got a hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's just. I want to be happy, but I don't want to be like gloatful.
When you're giving up lots of
I just
hits,
made up a word, gloatful.
But it works actually. But yeah, when you're giving up a lot of runs, you get everybody through the lineup very quickly, and we saw that. It only took 3
dun 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 dun, just like the Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah. And I'm really glad that they were playing the Diamondbacks, because that means the extra innings didn't allow me to watch the game. I didn't have to sit there and see it.
Well, there's always that. Look on the bright side.
I didn't actually watch the game, so
4 hits and 1 error. That was the only thing that showed up on the box score for the Washington Nationals. 4 hits, 1 error.
Yeah,
a lot of sadness, and now an even bigger ERA for Patrick Corbin,
which I didn't think was possible, to be honest, because it was pretty bad before.
All things are possible. All things are possible. All right. I don't want to, like I said, don't want to be gloatful, but Big George says, yeah, I'll tell you what, Keon is right. Patrick Corbin's a dumpster fire. Shocked he's still pitching, to be honest. Must not make sense to just designate him for assignment or release him. I'm sorry, Keon, but I do like your Nationals, my favorite team in the NL East.
There's no point in designating him for assignment, right? Like the team's not contending for anything. So there's no point in like, what are you designating him for? And then the contract is so big, you can't trade him.
Guess what? Nationals just put a score up in the 8th inning. They got to run.
When the game is actually possible to win, I don't think they're going to win the game, but they're scrappy. They do fight. And that's the thing I like about this team and that I've enjoyed watching this year. They're not going to win a ton of games. I already know that.
It was you didn't score as much as we helped you. McCarthy just scored on a Gore wild pitch.
Well, there you go. I don't know, but you just stick around, stay in the game, and try to show that you've got some heart. To me, that's where I'm at with this season, because they're not. They were never contenders.
Maybe I'm reading the wrong thing here. I got the. I don't have. Yeah, I don't know who actually scored. That's our guy. Hold on a second here. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading the wrong line. But
So just
hold on. Let me click a button here. Trying to give you the information.
Diamondbacks actually scored again.
Yeah, that's not what happened. Yepes. That's a great name. Yepes. Yepes.
That's a pretty cool name, yeah.
What happened was Garcia Jr. singled to center and Yepes. He scored. That's what happened. So congratulations. You have 9 hits in this game, but you also have 2 errors. I mean, it's just,
Yeah. It's the thing is, so when they won in 2019, a lot of the fans were excited. I was one of those people that thought, okay, let's run it back. Let's see what you can do in 2020. And the ownership group made it very clear they weren't going to pay anybody. So they just started selling off everybody. And so the result is the team we have now, where a lot of the prospects from those trades are finally coming up to the majors. And I think that there's a lot of really promising young guys, but they're young. They still need to learn a lot. So I don't think this team's going to be competitive for a little bit.
Well, right now you've got Ginkel trying to get out of trouble because your Nationals have somebody on third and somebody on first. There are 2 outs though, so this could go either way. So I'm just saying,
yeah,
you never know what'll happen.
No, the game's alive. You know, like Randy always says, you've got to play the game. But I just it feels over to me.
No, I understand.
And maybe it's just a little bit of just looking at the box score yesterday was enough for me to just be shell shocked for the next couple of weeks.
Well, here's what I say. Take it easy, Eeyore. Every game is its own story. And right now your story is not over yet with a whole nother inning to go and guys in position to make something happen. So, I mean, Call just did strike looking, but at least it wasn't struck out looking.
I mean,
you watched that ball come over. Just sup. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Anyways, we can't do play-by-play, so I'll move on. All right, let's before we get into some Olympic stuff, let's go ahead and talk some baseball. Great news for the Diamondbacks. That's great. That's always good. The Angels shut down the rehab for Mike Trout after, I guess, he had a setback in his recovery from his meniscus surgery. And then they went and got Anthony Rendon on the injured list. Well, this is not going great for the Angels, but Mike Trout had surgery May 3rd to repair that torn meniscus. And I'm just glad he get paid. He's just getting paid. He's making $37.1 million a year, and he's living life. He's just hanging out. That's cool. And then you know what? Damn right, because the Angels basically wasted his entire career. They wasted all the talent and potential and amazingness that is Mike Trout. Mike Trout was the best baseball player we've seen in a long time that you didn't really get to watch in the postseason. Not really.
And he was arguably the best player in baseball for a
decade.
Damn near 10-year stretch. So you got at least he got paid from it. There's something came out of it. He wasn't a World Series champion or even a playoff star, but he's a legend at the bank, and that's pretty nice too.
Yeah. So I mean, he's good either way. Doctor says I can't play. Okay.
Yeah.
Doctor says I can play.
What are you rushing back for on this team?
Cool.
And that's the reason why I know when people hate it when players move around a bunch, but this is what happens sometimes when guys are loyal to an organization. They keep coming back, and nothing to show for it. The Angels never put anything on the field to help Mike Trout.
Minimum effort, maximum pay, and they owe it to him. So I'm not even mad about that. Not even mad. Big George informs us that the Diamondbacks got out of that jam, and now it is the middle of the 8th. So I'm not going to say, oh, this would be a good place to pad your lead. I'm not going to say it, because Keon is right there and he can hear me. He's looking right at me.
I think it'd be a good place to pad your lead. I think the Diamondbacks should do that. Look, if my team's going to lose, let the home team have something out of it. I don't hate the Diamondbacks. So there's no rivalry there. I hate the Mets and the Phillies.
Trying to be polite.
So, if you were a certain person who used to work here who rooted for the Mets, might hurt my feelings a little bit. This does not.
I don't root for anybody but the Diamondbacks. But I appreciate when certain teams beat other teams I don't care for. So I was appreciative of the Mets when they took down the Yankees, and I was appreciative of the Red Sox when they took down the Yankees. I will be appreciative for a moment of the Padres because they beat the Dodgers. I don't hate the Dodgers. I just enjoy when they lose.
I mean, it's funny.
Yeah,
And-
they lost.
And the way the Dodgers fans react to such things, it
Yeah.
is funny.
10 innings, which means a 6-5 score had to be a walk-off. Anyway, so Dodgers lost. That's good.
Man.
Well, speaking of the Red Sox, did you see the video of that guy? He's up there over the Green Monster, right? And him and his wife, and they're hanging around. Oh my God! Here comes a home run. Here comes a home run. This is what we've been waiting for. How do I know they've been waiting for it? His wife had a giant baseball mitt. The gal next to her, giant baseball mitt. He earlier had a giant baseball mitt, but for some reason, when the ball came, he was not ready. He did not have on the giant baseball mitt. And he looked about as clumsy as you possibly could. Here comes the ball. Fell right back onto the field.
I don't think I've actually ever seen a person literally curse the heavens.
He cursed the heavens. He cursed everything. And his wife was just sitting there looking at him, shaking her head, right? So here's what we find out later is they're like, why didn't you, they came over and interviewed him. Like, why didn't you back off? And your wife's got a giant glove on her hand. Why didn't you let her catch it? He goes, well, I didn't know she had the glove on her hand. She goes, I've had the glove on for every single play, every single time, the entire game, unlike you. It's gonna be a long car ride home there.
Man, it's going to be sleeping on the couch for several days.
Well, she was laughing. He'll
Yeah.
probably sleeping in the garage out of just pure shame.
Yeah. It's just because you can't wake up in the middle of the night and look her in the eyes. How can you?
It's just that's a man card.
The one thing you were waiting for, you were not prepared for.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I would ever take a glove to a game. I don't think they're going to ask me to jump down and play. So I'm
Yeah.
not taking a glove. And if I can't handle it with my hand, then okay, I guess I don't get the ball. But if somebody that is with me has a glove, we want the ball more than I need to try to catch it with my own bare hand.
Yeah.
So he blew it. He blew it big time. But you're right. They kept cutting to him and he's like,
It's just if he was holding a beer or something, I would actually understand it a little bit better because it'd be like, okay, you took the glove off to do a thing.
that dude would have dropped a baby
Yes.
right down the wall. He probably would have got the ball though. Hey, oh, well, he'll be fine. That grass down there looks soft enough. I don't know. Berg says, have a great show. I'm off to the doctors. Give him hell, Berg. Give him hell, man.
Best of luck to you, man.
888-368-1580. You remember the Uffle?
I do.
They're not, are they still in business?
They are somehow miraculously
That's
still in
amazing.
business. They just
That's
had their draft not that long.
They're so bad that it's amazing that they're going to continue. But they're going to continue with some less income because the United States Army paid them $11 million for their sponsorship deal, and they're like, "Yeah, I think we're going to need $6 million of that back, please." And the Uffle is like, "What? We need $6 million of that back. We're in the process of working with the Uffle to determine the final cost of things. Here's what we've seen." This new partnership likely did not lead to a single new Army recruit. So they're a little mad about that.
I think so.
Then he says it might have actually resulted in a net loss of 38 recruits.
How?
How do you prove that?
That's the part that I think that you might be overstating your case a little bit.
I was about to join, but then I saw the commercial on the Uffle and I said, oh, hell no. Not if they're going to be involved with this horrible enough. So that's a little bit far-fetched.
I don't know how you would even begin to calculate that. However, you can't recruit anybody if nobody's watching. That I believe.
Then they said, the Rock didn't make good on his promise. Ooh, what did he promise you? Well, he promised to post about us on his social media. So here's the thing. When The Rock posts on social media, the Army is like, that's probably a value of $1 million per post. And they're like, we thought he'd do at least 5 posts, but we only got 2. So he owes us $3 million in social media posts. So yeah, the Army's mad and they want some money back.
and I'm pretty sure they didn't pay for this for the commercials in the Uffle. I think the partnership was more with The Rock and his 397 million Instagram followers.
Holy God. Really?
Yeah. The Rock is followed by a lot of people on Instagram, apparently.
Yeah, well, I've got a couple hundred.
So that's what they're paying for. So if he doesn't make those posts, then yeah, I can see why they'd be upset. I can see why they'd be mad.
Well, when the Army comes, you just write them the check. You don't hold out on the Army.
You can't win in court against the Army.
I feel like I'm not even the most scared of the Army. I'm actually thinking, I had a friend who worked for Armed Forces Radio, and I was working in a network. And so when he'd come on the line and we'd be doing stuff, and I would make a joke, and he didn't have as good a sense of humor, because I would make a joke and rip on him a little bit. And he would, in a very serious voice, say, "What is your longitude and latitude again?" Oh, crap. That's the information they need when the Tomahawk missiles come.
I hesitate to say, to be honest.
I would just hang up. Or I'd start giving him latitude and longitude for, like Bill Belichick's house, that kind of thing. Launch your missiles. Go ahead. See if I care. You pansies. Anyway, so yeah, the Army wants their money back from the Uffle, so not a good day to be in the Uffle. We got to take a break. When we come back, it's time for Beat the Book with Dylan Cohen. We'll see how he did yesterday, see what his picks are for today, and get some good betting advice. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Olympic Games in Paris, men's basketball, the United States taking on South Sudan. The U.S. coming off a victory in their opening game against Serbia are a 29.5-point favorite this afternoon, minus 108 against the spread. South Sudan minus 112, getting the 29.5 points. The over-under is at 191. NFL, the Hall of Fame game Thursday night in Canton, Ohio. Houston taking on Chicago. The Texans, a 1.5 favorite, minus 125 on the money line. Bears plus 105, over under 31.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update of the 2024 Summer Games. Swimming has concluded for the day in Paris with the first world record of these Summer Games. Pan Zhang Li of China won gold in the men's 100 free with a time of 46.40, besting his previous world mark by 0.4 of a second. Katie Ledecky won her 12th career Olympic medal and 8th career gold in the women's 1500 free. Ledecky's Olympic record time of 15:30.02 allowed her to cruise to the finish line more than 10 seconds ahead of the field. Ledecky is now tied for the most Olympic medals and gold medals among American women, with 2 more events to come on her Paris schedule. And the American duo of Austin Krajicek and Rajiv Ram ousted Rafael Nadal and Carlos Alcaraz in straight sets today to advance to the semifinals. The loss ends these games for Nadal, who bowed out of the singles tournament on Monday with a straight set 6-1, 6-4 loss to Novak Djokovic. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ryan Radke, Westwood One Sports.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1, find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2, have a plan to get there. Step 3, make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all 3 with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed. When you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands in the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio. Find wellness at Westin.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Stay Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Big George says, damn, Paul Sewall doing the best he can to blow this game. Oh, no, it's Diamondbacks 5, Nationals 3. You still have a chance there, Keon. Top of the ninth with one out. We'll keep you up to date on what is happening. But right now it's time for Beat the Book with Dylan Cullen. And all right, you were on the road yesterday, but here we are today. So how about you fill us in on how you did yesterday and with the stuff you had predicted for today?
Yeah, sorry about missing yesterday. Was on the road, coming to you guys live right now from sunny Los Angeles, California. Pretty nice to get out of that Arizona heat. There were a number of picks that we're going to cover here. I gave a few on Monday, and then I also followed that up with 3 yesterday. And then some of these picks weren't necessarily for that exact day, so the timing got a little weird. But we can start off with the stuff that I put out on Monday. Unfortunately, Paul Skeens finally had a little bit of a blooper of an outing. He only managed 6 strikeouts in 6 innings against the Astros. What was that?
I said only.
Yeah, only. Well, hey, you know what? Skeens, I mean, this guy, he's, we're already putting him up there among the best pitchers in the league, and he's a Cy Young candidate. So, the bar's high for him. And, I mean, keep in mind, he had I think it was 8 out of his last 10 games, he threw for 8 or more strikeouts. In addition to that, he never had less than 8 strikeouts in a road game. So, fortunately, there's a first for everything, and that one just didn't pan out for us. But going over to the Olympic basketball side, that's where, we have seen some success over the last couple of days. That first one that I put out was for the Greece versus Spain matchup. Kostas Papanikolaou did not manage to get 10 points. He had 9. And then Greece actually was the first true upset of the Olympic basketball tournament. I believe they came into that matchup as a 4-point favorite, and then they managed to lose to Spain by 7. So that was definitely surprising to see. Giannis only has so much help around him. He did have 27 points in that game, but, hindsight's always 20/20. Spain probably was a better play just as an underdog there. Giannis didn't even manage to get 30 points. So I'm happy that, we didn't just slam Giannis for 30 because there really were no good winning bets on that Greece side there. Santi Aldama on Spain, he's going to be someone to look at going forward. He managed 19 points. I believe he had over 20 in their first game. So he's really emerged as the scorer for Team Spain, and that's going to be someone that we can look to try and play as props on later on in the tournament. But the last pick that I had given on Monday was for a game that happened Tuesday morning. That was Team Canada taking on Team Australia. Canada won that matchup by 10. RJ Barrett has really emerged as the main scorer and kind of the engine, so to speak, for that Canada offense. I think the way a lot of teams have been game planning for Canada, there's just so much attention being thrown at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander that it's freeing RJ Barrett up to just go crazy, and particularly in transition. He's extremely dangerous in this tournament. He gets a lot of points just going up for layups and then, getting the foul call and getting them on the line. So RJ Barrett, 15 plus points in a Canada win. That one did hit for us. And that's already a performance double that I've won twice now so far in this Olympic pool play round. That's going to be one to continue to look at playing going forward.
All right. So then the next day, you were so close. You were so close on Papandika Lickalicadoo or whatever his name was. You missed that by 1 point. But then today, Kevin Durant and Team USA. Well, the good news is Team USA won. The bad news is Kevin Durant only had 14. And I'll tell you what, he had a chance. He was perfect from 3-pointers, but he was 2 of 5 field goal. If he'd have made those shots, you'd have made your bet.
Absolutely. And, the more that I watch Team USA play, truthfully, the less that I've hiked a bet on them. And the only reason why is just because, they're always going to be a huge favorite. It doesn't matter who they're playing in this tournament. So you're going to have them covering a huge spread. So today, for example, against South Sudan, it was 29.5. They did not come anywhere near close to covering that. So then you're forced to look at prop bets, and this USA team is so deep that anyone can manage to have a good game on any given night. And anyone that seems likely to, at least get what they're projected to get, they could very well go out there and do nothing. I mean, look at Bam Adebayo leading the team today. Kevin Durant was the second leading scorer, but he only managed 5 field goal attempts, and that was purely because there were other teammates that were doing well, and it just made more sense to feed them. Then you've got a guy like Jason Tatum who finally is able to play a game. I believe he only had like 4 points, so I'm sure there's some people that, lost trying to bet on his props. Stephen Curry is another one where you'd think, gosh, this guy's going to score so much. He couldn't hit a 3-pointer today to save his life. So that's where you got to be careful when you're betting on Team USA.
The good news is you got your bet with Serbia and Jokic with 8+ assists. That one hit pretty good there for you.
Yeah, the analysis on that one was pretty spot on. Jokic had 5 teammates in addition to himself that managed to get double figures, in points for scoring. So, what I predicted in that matchup really was just for Jokic to look to be the facilitator and the playmaker that he honestly prefers to be. This guy doesn't go into games wanting to be the leading scorer. He only does it if he absolutely has to. His preference is to play a little lazy, so to speak, and share the ball and try and set his teammates up for success. And quite frankly, Puerto Rico is the punching bag of this tournament. If you couldn't tell already, they got blown out by 40 against Serbia. I can't imagine what that line is going to be for their matchup against USA on Saturday. Quite frankly, that might be the one to look at USA covering the spread there, because Puerto Rico is just limping around right now. I mean, they are really struggling to compete. It's almost unfortunate because I look at them and I'd rather see Slovenia play right now with Luka Doncic. I mean, Team Bahamas could have potentially made it, and they've got Eric Gordon, DeAndre Ayton, Buddy Hield. There were other really talented teams that could have made it, and unfortunately, we're left with this Puerto Rico team that just does not deserve to be there.
All right, so what are you betting on today, Dylan?
So for today, slate's a little limited. We already had much of Major League Baseball go on today, but there are some good games left. The first one that really caught my eye was this Dodgers and Padres matchup. And as you guys were saying before, the NL West is tight right now. The Diamondbacks are surging. We're getting closer to the Padres on the wild card standings. The Padres are only 5.5 games behind the Dodgers for the lead in the NL West. So it's still anyone's division at this point, particularly with the Dodgers missing Mookie Betts. But looking at the Padres right now, they've got Dylan Cease coming back up on the mound after going for a no-hitter in his last outing. Unfortunately, that came against Keon's Nationals. But Dylan Cease is arguably the absolute hottest pitcher in all of baseball right now. Over his last 4 starts, he's had at least 8 strikeouts in every single game. And what really stuck out to me about this matchup, on top of how well Cease is doing, the Dodgers lately are just not doing well in terms of, converting plate appearances to hits and, not striking out. They are striking out way more than normal. So, with that being said, you look at the last 4 pitchers that the Dodgers have faced, and all of them have had above average outings for strikeouts.
I think Dylan Cease needs a catcher by the name of Desist.
There you go. That would be quite the duo there.
Here comes cease and
especially
desist.
for the commentators. But just with the stars aligning, the Dodgers hitters not batting that well, striking out a lot. Cease playing as well as he is. Look at Cease to get a lot of strikeouts tonight. You can take him for 8 or more. His line is at 8.5. I think you're safe to play him over 8.5. But at the very least, you can take him for 8 or more strikeouts tonight.
All right. So what else do you got?
And then the other matchup, and this one was really interesting because it's not very often that you're going to catch these books making a pretty egregious mistake with how they're pricing games. But I believe we've finally identified one, and that's going to be in this Oakland Athletics and San Francisco Giants matchup that's going on later tonight. The Athletics, as of the last time I looked at the odds a couple of hours ago, were a fairly big underdog in this game. I believe it was plus 178 on the money line. It seems like the logic behind that from the books is just purely because Logan Webb is pitching for the Giants. And although he is generally their ace and their best pitcher, he has not been pitching very well lately. And as we all know, professional baseball is more than anything just a game of how well you've been playing lately. So Logan Webb in his last 3 outings has managed to give up 25 hits, 15 runs, and they were all against teams that over the month of July were mediocre in batting metrics. And then now you're going up against one of the top 5 hitting teams right now, over the last month in the Oakland Athletics. And it really just looks more like Webb is going to be set up for a long night where he's going to be giving up more hits, more runs, particularly with the A's winning last night. I don't see any reason why they can't win again. So go ahead and take advantage of the A's being priced as an underdog here. You can take Oakland Athletics money line over the San Francisco Giants.
All right, let's go to the text line. Canadian Mountain says, damn, Team USA didn't cover the 29-point spread against South Sudan. And Walter Mellon says, it's never good when you start a conversation with, I'm sorry. It's all right, Dylan. You don't hit every single one, but you do hit a bunch. And thanks for the information.
Well, I certainly appreciate that. And quite frankly, as long as I can deliver a win on any given day for the Fourth Dimension, I can walk away with my head held high. And, I'm happy to keep doing this. And, if it's not my literal picks that are hitting, if you take anything away from the analysis and then that turns into a win for you, then, we're still beating the book. And that's all that matters.
Oh, no. No, not about you, but I guess the Diamondbacks, it's now 5-4. And Seawald got pulled out of the game. And now I think they got Thompson in there trying to pitch his way out of a bases loaded situation, top of the 9th with 1 out. So I told you, Keon. I told you. You never know.
Yeah, you weren't wrong.
I don't want to be right on this
one.
one.
I just thought you were being nice.
No, I was. Now I'm kind of pissed off. So.
Yeah.
So listen, if you want to read all the analysis that Dylan Cohen puts in to these bets and things that he shares with us, go to 1580thefanatic.com. Over on the right side of the page, you just click on Beat the Book with Dylan Cohen, and you can read all about it right there. We'll see you tomorrow, Dylan. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. 888-368-1580. Yeah, George, there was a huge sigh of relief. The best thing Seawald could have ever done was go ahead and I'm sorry, that Lovello could do is pull Seawald. But now we're looking here at a final. My final says 5-3. What are you getting 5-4? George, I don't know.
It says 5-4 on the Yahoo as well.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I'm looking at ESPN.
As per usual.
Click. Turn that off right away. All right. So we survived. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Average Joe says, incoming, Big George, fire Seawald text. Yeah, I'm sure.
Not
but at
surprising.
least Lavello did a thing.
Yeah, he unbelievably. That's usually not his move.
Yeah, he's not doing a thing. He does nothing. Or he does the confusing thing. So,
or he does something too late. Yeah, this time
I'm actually
made the right call.
Pretty happy about that.
Genuinely impressed. Look, we got to give him his props when he does the right thing, right?
Yeah, your boys put in some fight. You can at least be proud of that.
They're a scrappy team. That's my favorite thing about it.
Yeah, that was a scare for the Diamondbacks, if nothing else. So nice to get another sweep, though. I'm not going to lie. 888-368.
That helps you guys more than
1580. So I don't know if you know this. This is just a little something I just found. I just saw this. Bills quarterback Josh Allen got engaged. Not engaged. I'm sorry. Went Instagram official with Haley Steinfeld.
I don't know who that is, but good for him.
I don't know. I think Alan is kind of in a hurry to maybe get married, since that's the only way he's going to get a ring.
Oh, come on. They're in the playoffs every year.
He's on the Bills. He's on the Bills.
Okay,
just saying.
There's a first for every team to win a championship, you know.
Yeah, not this time. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk some Olympic stuff, and I got a crap ton of NFL football that we just have not had time to talk about. If we're honest, we had time. We're just really irresponsible. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
It's heating up across Arizona. Make sure you know the signs of heat stress, cramps, rashes, exhaustion, dizziness. Working in high temperatures can be dangerous. It can lead to an altered mental state, damage your organs, and even cause death. Protect yourself. Get plenty of water, rest, and shade during the day. Learn more from the Industrial Commission of Arizona. Visit heat.az.gov. That's heat.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Industrial Commission of Arizona.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
1580 The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Chief Skulls says, afternoon, guys. Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing after that. My brain is fried. What do you mean? How is your brain fried? Too much anal analysis? Is that what it is, Chief Skull?
Or just work burnout, or
yeah,
what's going on, man?
Could be anything. It's hot outside. Hot in here.
That's true. Brain could be fried just being outdoors.
Every time I come in here, it's like I got to report the broken air conditioning to the building maintenance. Right now, I've been here since about noon. I turned the air conditioning on to 73. It's at 78.
And I don't know what they're doing, because I'm in here and a guy comes in.
Yeah, they're not doing
it. And he checks the thing.
They make stuff up. Well, we replaced some belts. We did this. We did that. You did nothing. Still same result. You did nothing.
Yeah, like I'll be sitting here in the control room, and I look through in there, and a guy comes in from the maintenance, and then he's got some kind of sensor or something, and he leaves, and he never comes back. So I don't know.
Jesus is coming soon. Look busy. I think that's what they're doing. They're just because nothing is changing every time. The air conditioning is at a reasonable level, and it's like, all of a sudden it's 75, then it's 76, and it's now at 3:42 p.m. it's 78 degrees. In the next hour, like every other time, I'm going to be standing here in 80-degree temperatures.
Yeah,
which compared to people who have to work for a living outside, yeah, boo-hoo, buckaroo, right? I get that. But you don't expect it in here.
Some people have worse problems than you, but that doesn't mean that you don't have problems.
Oh, Chief Skull is on his way back from Chalupa U territory. Oh, he's coming from the Tuscan area.
Oh no.
From Bethlehem. He's on his way from Bethlehem. Yeah. Wow. Sorry, Chief Skull. I was wondering what that was about. Of course, your brain is fried anytime you're near Bethlehem.
It radiates out, you know?
You should play the Bethlehem song for Chief Skull. Can we do that? Oh, little town of Bethlehem. That's my song, but Fish Tank did a version for us, Chief Skull. And here it is, just for you. Just for you. Wait, I thought we had it. What? Did you delete it?
I know. I just think I removed it. Well, not removed it, but I don't think I had it in the wall. It got moved over to the computer.
Huh.
Yeah. So let me go ahead.
Well, screw that, Chief Skull. Just imagine it being awesome. How's that?
Fiddle with a few things.
Walter Mellon says, according to the DARE program from the early 90s, his brain is fried like an egg in a frying pan because he's on drugs. Oh, no. Chief Skull's not on drugs. Tucson is. Bethlehem is. So it's hard to have a good conversation with somebody who's in Tucson. Because then you start to think, am I stoned? You know what I mean? That just makes it hard. Quiet Cannon says Jeffrey O and Keno, 5 minutes only on the Olympics. Maybe just a quick medal summary. Maybe move on to NFL. First off, Quiet Cannon, you do not produce the show. Okay? Because nobody produces this show. We are unproducible. Many have tried. Consultants have had advice. People have had things to say. And we say, no. This show is not produced. Unproducible. Don't you come around here, Quiet Cannon, trying that. You know what Quiet Cannon just got?
What did he get?
Do you know what he just guess what he just got?
Olympics. He got
some Olympic facts. I'm gonna do Olympic facts just because he said that.
He got what he did not want.
I got 5 Olympic facts for Quiet Cannon.
Every time someone requests a change in production of this show, somebody tries to direct the show.
I was ready to talk about something else, Quiet Cannon, but for you and because of you, now let the class observe that this is because of Quiet Cannon. Sweden and Finland, by the way, are tied for the longest Olympic winning streak. Did you know that? They both won at least one medal at every summer and winter Olympics since 1908. The U.S. isn't on that list because of the boycott of 1980, or else we'd probably be on that list.
Well, definitely be on that list. I think they passed 3,000 medals all time today.
God damn you, commies, bastards, soulless pieces of... Anyway, the para in Paralympics does not come from the word paralyzed or paraplegic. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Comes from the Greek word para, which means beside, because the Paralympics stand side by side with the Olympics. So it has nothing to do with them being a bunch of cripples.
Well, I wouldn't say it like that, but that's pretty cool.
I didn't say anything that's not correct.
Well, because not everybody...
it's like a whole room full of cripples.
Well...
You can't throw a wet towel without hitting a cripple if you're going to the Paralympics.
I mean, you don't have to say that. You could just say disabled people. That just
I'm not lying.
You're not lying. I just don't like your word choice personally. Not a fan.
All right, not wet towel, dry towel.
Okay.
You can't throw a dry towel without hitting a bunch of cripples.
Really, not the part that I disagreed with there. But okay.
I really don't know what you're on about right now, to be honest. But here's another Olympic fact for Quiet Cannon. Hungarian fencer named Paul Xerxes won a bronze medal in 1988. He then became disabled after a bus accident. Then he went on to win 6 medals in wheelchair fencing at the Paralympics. I just at this very moment realized there's something called wheelchair fencing in the Paralympics that makes me want to watch the Paralympics. Can you use the wheelchair?
I don't know.
Clank.
I don't think you can
at the
use
block.
the
Clank.
wheelchair. Well, to block, why wouldn't you be? I don't know how that works. I'm also curious. I'm
gonna have to
suddenly
watch this.
Also curious. Yeah, that does.
So anyway, this makes him the only person who's won a medal at the Olympics before a disability, then won one at the Paralympics after he got all crippled.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of badass on his part.
It's a little bit, yeah. Good for him. The Jamaican bobsled team from the 94 Winter Olympics finished 14th place, one spot ahead of the United States, by the way. But that's not the team that was depicted on Cool Runnings. That was loosely based on the 88 Olympics, where Jamaica crashed in their qualifying run and he failed to finish. So
it seems like they picked the wrong
I know,
team there, but okay. Yeah. No.
Don't get ahead of a good story.
Yeah.
And finally, football got a chance to be in the Olympics when it was added as a demo sport back in 1932, but it bombed and it's not been back since.
Yeah.
Except for flag football.
It's the game we made up and it hasn't spread internationally. So without that part of it, it's going to be a tough sell. And the game of football is infinitely more complicated now than it was in 1932.
No, that's true.
So I have doubts.
I think flag football has a shot. I think
it does. Yeah,
sure. F the process says, wouldn't the wheelchair fencing be considered jousting? You know what? Well, it's only if they take a run at each other.
Yeah,
F the process.
You've got to have a buildup of speed there, and then
which I'm all for.
Big collision. They
wheelchair jousting. How are they not? You get 2 ramps.
Oh my god!
Let gravity do the rest. Hell yeah! F the process. You're on to something there. Don't act like that wouldn't be awesome.
It would be. I have not disagreed at all.
Yeah, they can't. Oh, no, I don't mean like run literally. I mean, take a run at each other. He says they can't run if they're in a wheelchair. No, they take a roll at each other. How's that? Chief Skull says, where's Randy? I told you at the beginning of the show, he's at the island of Nunya. None your damn business. He says, I hope all is well with him. I need his weather reports. I'm going through a crappy dust storm in Casa Grande. It's scraping my throat dry. Okay, Chief Skull. Yes, let me just tell you what's happening. There is a dust storm in Casa Grande. Be careful. Canadian Mountain says Bethlehem. Is that some derogatory term for Bethlehem in Israel? No, it's a derogatory term for Tucson,
which I now have.
Where all the meth is.
Where it's supposed to be.
Oh yeah, take a listen to this song, Canadian Mountain. It'll explain a lot.
We're going down to a place called Bethlehem. It's where the Wildcats play. A little town where you can score some medals any time of day. 77, 77, 77.
Yeah, 77, by the way, Canadian Mountain is the score of an epic beatdown that ASU gave Arizona a couple of years ago. So that's what that's about if you're new to the program. 888-368-1580. Beer Bob is happy. Diamondback sweep. Helping Keon's team get a better draft pick next year. If only it really helped that much Major League Baseball. It helps, but
it just and also just not immediately, and you have to wait 3 to 4 years to see the guy. Unless he's like a special talent, then that guy's up next year or second half of the season. But that's who you'd have to be drafting to get that immediate impact. But yeah, no, I'll take it.
Big George says, "Ooh, I love Olympic facts. We figured you would." Wilbur says, "How about blind man's?" Wait, hold on. For some reason, that was probably a good time for the internet to get hitched up. It was on Mr. Wilbur's text. He says, "How about blind man's poisonous darts competition for the Paralympics? Are we throwing poisonous darts at blind men? Or are we giving them poisonous darts to throw?" I feel like that would be a bad idea for everyone in the audience.
I think it's a bad idea either way.
Well, I don't know. I'd like to hear the facts. Angry Texan says, I'm with Quiet Cannon. Less Olympic talk, more American NFL talk. I think he's just trying to get me to do more Olympic talk, to be honest, because that's all that's going to do.
That's all that he's causing.
Yep. That's all you're going to do right there.
Look, just everybody know, if you want to blame somebody, it's Quiet Cannon. That's his fault. He's doing this. He has caused this.
Dog named Boo says he took the family to Mount Lemmon last weekend, had a great time. He says, but you're right about Bethlehem. Yeah. Well, that song didn't just make itself up. That's from reality.
It's based on a true story called Tucson.
Cheese Skull says, I love that. That's my new fish tank favorite right there. Beer Bob says, what's better than winning a gold medal at the Paralympics? Not being crippled. He says, Jeffrey O'Brien said that, 7:31, 24, 3:45 p.m. Oh, did I say that? Really? That's pretty good. I didn't realize I'd said that. Mr. AZ Sports says, Paul Sewald now looking for a job. No. Did they send? They didn't do. No. 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 But hey, you were out there in the outfield, right? And enjoying some food and stuff. I think he had burgers today. Mr. AZ Sports was
a little less exotic today.
Well, I don't know what those burgers made out of.
That's true.
Have you had buffalo burgers?
I've had a buffalo burger and a bison burger.
Very lean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it though.
He had the Wagyu burgers.
Oh, the Wagyu. Oh, the Wagyu's delicious.
That's Japanese beef. Is that Japanese beef or is it just a type of cow? Do you have to get the beef from Japan or?
Well, let me do a Google on that. I actually don't know.
I think Japanese Wagyu is just Japanese for Americans will pay a lot of money for anything. Canadian Mountain says, oh, I understand now. I'm all for it. Tucson sucks. Carry on. Yeah, they even know this in Canada. Sideshow Bob says, how about U.S. men's basketball team showed Sudan tucked around and found out. Tucked? I think your voice text just helped me avoid problems.
Yeah. Also, the Wagyu is a breed of Japanese cattle. So
do we have those here?
Yeah, I don't think you have to go to Japan, but the cow, the breed of cow is from Japan.
Mr. AZ Sports sent me a picture of, I guess, where he was sitting behind a kid in a Peralta jersey and a guy whose golf shirt. Man, if those seams could talk, they'd say, ah! They're a little tight.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Anyway, so what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about, I want a little more time to talk about the America versus the South Sudanese, but we're running out of time in this hour. So before we'll do that when we come back. But right now, I do want to say, do you see France getting the little cheat sheet from the ref?
No, I didn't see that. No.
So they were playing Japan. And this guy goes up for a shot and they're like, oh, foul. And everybody's like, there wasn't a foul. What are you talking about? And even on the video, you can see no contact was made, but France got the call, which helped them win a very close game. At the time, it was 10 seconds left in the game. Japan up 84-80. Rudy Gobert gets the ball to Matthew Strazel on the perimeter. And then there's a pump fake. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, foul. And everybody's like, there's no foul. But then nothing could do anything. You see the photos. His hand was not even. How do you call that? Unless the French official was just trying to help France improve to 2-0. They should have lost that game.
Which I find it hard to believe.
That foul was a direct impact on that.
Yeah. And I find it hard to believe that there was a French official in the game.
I don't know. I just guessed.
Because they get officials from all over the world. And then you try to keep the officials from their home countries from refereeing those games with their home countries.
We need an investigation.
But officials, we've seen this. It happens in the NBA. It happens in basketball all over the place. Officials do get swayed by home crowds.
Got to find
real thing that happens.
Got to find these officials. Check their passports, please.
Yeah, France bailed out.
Foul of 51 says Fry's had American Wagyu beef called Snake River Farms. It's really good. They have it.
Yeah. If you get the actual Wagyu from Japan, that's the real expensive one.
I'm good with just beef. I don't need anything fancy. Beer Bob says ostrich burgers are pretty good. Had some at Fuddruckers back in the day. That's where I had them too. If the Wagyu burgers or meat does not have A1 to A5 distinction, it's a scam and don't buy it. So he knows more about the beef. It should be beef and Beer Bob, not just Beer Bob. ASU Buddy says they massage the cows for Wagyu. I wish I was a Wagyu cow. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-285-3636. 800-285-3636.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call. 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is, how much income we think we'll need each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of healthcare, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. Your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He'll be back when he's damn good and ready. Right now, we got Ralph from Harmon Solar. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and we got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. So, all right, let's talk about it. South Sudan, you know, they had heart.
A lot of it. They've
But
got a lot.
you knew it wasn't going to be like last time. You knew it was not going to be at all like last time. It was only going to be, a game. It wasn't going to be a great game. It was just going to be a game. And that's what you got. And there were times they started to try to chip away and try to make their way back. And they had a nice fourth quarter. They really had heart. But in the end, a bunch of NBA players are too much. And that's the way it is. So what was your take on the Americans today? Are they cruising through? Are they pacing themselves? Or is this going to be about the way things go? Because Kerr did do one of those shift changes again.
Yeah, and it actually kind of worked this time.
Mhm.
Just with just having that second wave of, here's a group of other guys that are also NBA, all-star, superstar level, and their play styles are different enough. You have to account for it, and I just don't think that you you can if you're South Sudan. I don't know if we can say that they're going to cruise going on from here because the talent gap is just big enough that what happened today is what was supposed to happen. But it's a good win. I think that the scare from South Sudan turned out, I think, in the long run to be a good thing for Team USA, just to have that healthy respect of everybody else. So you're not overlooking anybody. You're not you learn the lesson in your tune-up game. Okay, can't overlook a team like South Sudan because if we're not on our A game, they're going to hurt us. And so you show up today, you stomp them out.
All right. So Ralph is shaking his head as if he does not agree with what you were saying. Can't hear you, Ralph.
There we go. Okay.
There you go.
So I think it's embarrassing. You beat them by 16 points.
You're
horrendous.
embarrassed by the outcome of today's game. They were up by 20 a couple of different times. I think they were just kind of cruising a little bit.
I don't know. I go back to the 92 team and what they would do to teams like this, and the games would never get close. If the other team would get within 28 points, they would be upset.
By the way, 17 points.
Yeah, I'm just saying. This team doesn't have that level that other team had.
They
have the level.
They do. This team has to pace themselves in a way the 92 team did. You know why? Because they played 9 NBA players in 1992. There are 60 NBA players in these Olympics. It's not the same. You can't empty the tank all on South Sudan because you still have to run into France later.
It is true, but I don't like what Kerr's. I don't like the shift changes. I think when he went away from that, because he did for a game or two, it looked better. Right now, people were getting pissed because guys were sitting, but I think they looked better as a team than they do when they do the shift changes. I don't like the hockey thing.
I'm not a huge fan of it.
Doesn't work.
I was saying today it worked pretty well, and the 16 points is more just a testament of how hard South Sudan was fighting, and where Team USA was like this thing's in the bag.
How many NBA players on South Sudan?
I don't believe there are any NBA players on South Sudan.
Yeah,
and
should have been a humongous stomp, but
South Sudan hasn't been blown up by anybody.
Right. So South
It's
Sudan.
like you're talking about this team like they're just the Team USA beat them by 16, but look at South Sudan getting walked by
17.
everybody else. It's not what's happening.
Ralph, they won by 17 points.
Okay, they should have won by 40, not 17.
That's just not true.
They should have, but they didn't have to.
You can't do that in today's game with the way people shoot 3-pointers, and it's obvious if you watch South Sudan play. These guys understand the NBA game, which makes sense. They are being funded by Luol Deng, the former Chicago Bull. Who else is going to know the NBA game inside and out like a guy who is in the NBA?
I get that.
Like I understand that people want Team USA to show up and stomp out the world. The world is not going to do that anymore. You have to actually show up and play all out for 40 minutes to what? Be short of 20? And we're going to be mad about that?
I think you're right to a point. I think against a team with no NBA players, you should stomp them. Other teams that are going to have a lot of NBA guys, I get it. It's a different talent.
No,
than
because
it was
the South Sudan doesn't have NBA players, but they have professional basketball players.
That's right.
These guys play in other places in a way that, again, you go back to 1992, that was not happening. We don't have as many leagues around the world playing high-level basketball like we do right now. So it's not like the South Sudanese is just a bunch, they grabbed 5 guys off the streets of Sudan.
Yeah, so Ralph, they weren't sitting there going, That's not what they did.
I was listening to
the Polish team,
the things that Gilbert Arenas said about Sudan, and he's like, how could you nearly lose to them? And this was after the tune-up game. He's like, they don't even have running water and all this stuff. Yes, they do.
Wow.
They absolutely so like he
I've
went
seen a
he
well
went-
there.
He went well. They have entire cities in that country.
It's running if that one guy shows up to pump it.
It's just like, let's stop thinking about some of these countries like they just grabbed 4 bums off the street. They have basketball players and a basketball program where they train just as well as anybody else in the world. You've got the weight programs, you've got the diet programs. These things are closing the gaps that were not there before.
I'm just going to say I'm not impressed with this Team USA. I'm not. And I don't think they're going to win a gold. I really don't. I'm
It's
just not
just like I don't know.
I'm
That's
not.
just
I want them to, but I don't think they will.
I think they are going to win the gold. It's just nobody's as good as them. But the thing is, you have to there is a certain level of, you're not going to empty the tank against every single team, because you do have to keep something in reserve for when you are playing better teams down the road. Even in the beloved 2008 Redeem team with Kobe needed one of those brilliant Kobe performances to squeak past a Spain team whose best player was either Pau Gasol or Rudy Fernandez. Like that's the game. The game has been caught up to, and we're playing not by NBA rules. We're playing by international rules, which still takes some getting used to.
Yeah, true. I'm just not impressed.
The game is 8 minutes shorter. Like I don't know. We're not. I just. That's a whole lot to do about nothing. There's nothing to worry about.
They will show up when they need to show up. They will do what they need to do.
But the days of bleep stomping everybody, I think those days are done.
Yeah, I mean, until we need it to happen. I mean, why push them? Here's the thing, Ralph, you have to also remember. There is an NBA sort of impact here. Because if Steve Kerr went out there and he's like, we're going to take these guys down and we're going to beat them down by 40, 50 points, America, like you want to do, well, then that increases the chances of some of these guys getting hurt and some of these guys affecting their money and some of these guys, it's affecting their teams. So I actually don't mind seeing them kind of just, do what you need to do to win the game. Would I like to see it be over 20 and not under 20? Yes. Do I need to see it at 40? No. No, as long as they win, that's all that matters in the end.
I think you're right. 20 is the point of demarcation right
Should
there.
Should be.
I mean, it can't be less than 20.
Right. Okay. Listen, let's shake hands. I agree.
Okay. Sure.
I agree. And they won by 17. Close a damn enough.
Nope.
Yeah, just
close
because
enough.
I don't know. Like they played in 2010. I think they played Senegal and beat them by 45. Like there are just some teams you can do that with, and there's some teams you can't. And this is largely the same group of people. We're making a big deal about absolutely nothing.
If they play Italy and they keep it close, I'm done.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Because Italy can't play basketball.
Okay, bye.
All right.
One thing Italians don't do is play basketball.
Hey, a lot of
even
arguing with the refs.
Even that's not true. There are Italian NBA players.
We suck.
Who's
There's
the
one,
Italian
there's
NBA
one,
player?
there's one Italian NBA player. I don't know if he's still in the
Giuseppe?
NBA.
What's his name?
He's actually came out of Pinnacle.
He came out.
He was at Pinnacle and he got drafted. He was in Arizona and then he got drafted, and I think he was with Golden State for a year. He was a point guard. I can't remember his name.
I know, but the Italian team probably gets a record number of technicals for arguing calls. Hey, with the hands and this and that. And,
well, we should.
Yeah. I mean, listen, go
when
to
you
your
tell a
strengths.
ref, when you go to a ref and go fangul, I mean, yeah, they're going to get upset.
please don't swear at Italian. I don't know. I'm guessing that's not something we need to look up.
It's a way of saying hello.
Yeah, sure.
Via fangul.
Let's see here. Mr. Wilbur says, what? LeBron and Ralph will not be sharing gold medal soon? Bite your tongue, Ralph. That's your boy.
And if it's not for my boy, they don't win. That's another thing. You got to have him.
Right.
When you get in those close games,
Okay.
he's
And
gotta
in
be the guy.
2008, you had to have Kobe. They were not going to win a gold without Kobe Bryant
Agreed,
on that
but
team.
LeBron's 40.
All right. I mean,
LeBron had 12 points today. He was not the point
It's just
leader. It was
because they didn't need him
Yabba-dabba-doo.
today. They didn't need him today.
Yeah.
But
That's
they
fine.
will when they get in a close game.
Okay.
I don't know what the point is.
LeBron James is still capable for 7 to 8 minute stretches of being the best basketball player on the planet. So why wouldn't it be him? Like I don't understand.
Because there's all the great talent that you guys talk about all season. I want to see these guys step up and do something.
They are. I mean, like
it's early, Ralph. It's early.
it's still group play.
Because when it all said and done, and we get back to
You
the
know,
NBA
the-
season,
the-
guess what the conversation is?
The game against
You guys
Serbia.
blew it.
Lakers suck. LeBron sucks. AD sucks. That's what we go back
The
to that
actual
conversation.
Time out on the field. Nobody says LeBron sucks. Nobody says AD sucks. What we say is Lakers suck.
Which means they suck.
LeBron is getting old, and Anthony Davis doesn't spend enough time on the court as much as he spends in a pair of jeans. So that is what we say. So make sure you get it right, Ralph.
Okay.
Participation trophy, bastard.
And I'm glad to be here too.
Hi, Ralph. Quiet Cannon
a greeting.
says,
Way of saying hello.
by the way, how's the U.S. doing in medals? So you can know what games in France. I don't understand what that means, but I'll go and get your medal count for you right now. I have it on the screen. 30. We lead everyone in medals by 30. Next up is France with 26. Yeah, I think so. That's padding by the China's got 19 right there. Let's see, full medals. Let's see. We got 5 gold, 13 silver, 12 bronze, and 8 titaniums, which is something I just made up. Wiggy McPiggy says, I think that official's name was Pierre. Probably. The whole Japan game. You see that? Did you see that? They called a foul on Japan. The dude was nowhere near the play. Like his hand was like here. There was probably about that much space between his hand and the player.
Yeah.
And they
Oh,
called a foul, which saved France's ass, and they got to keep on going. They should have been nailed right there.
Yep.
So stupid. Beer Bob says, if I keep eating like I'm eating now, I'm going to have to change my name to Beefy Beer Bob.
Okay.
I'll allow it. I'll allow that text
Look,
to change if you need it.
And it's a nice double entendre there because you can still be a beef expert.
Yeah, Beefy Beer Bob. Sideshow Bob. Holy crap, 2 Bobs in a row. Says, I love the physical gameplay in the Olympics. Maybe Devin Booker will come back physical as ever. Yeah,
He's looked good.
he's always been physical. I mean, look, he went into the crowd again, tumbling with some guy. He's out there. I saw him bruising it up with some of them South Sudan players. No, he's physical enough. I got no complaints with Devin Booker. I'm not thrilled when he starts complaining too much, if you know what I mean. Canadian Mountain says, I'm with Ralph. I bet on Team USA to cover the 29-point spread, and they fell short of that, far short of that. This Team USA is not that good, and we're lucky to win the gold.
I just think we're
We are the brakes.
we are
I agree with him.
overestimating.
They're good
we
enough.
or rather, we are underestimating how good the rest of the world has gotten at basketball.
But South
And
Sudan, come on.
The thing that I'm afraid of is more in the future, where once upon a time the English invented soccer and they haven't won a World Cup in how long? I just don't want the game to be taken. I don't care what the gap is. Win the game.
Yeah.
Well, the difference is the English started drinking too much, and that's why they don't win the World Cup.
Maybe. Who knows?
They're drunk on the field. I mean, that's why.
Yeah, they're
still good
drunk in
soccer
the
players.
field. They're drunk in the stands.
Yeah, they're just drunk.
I just like it when they're miserable. So that needs to continue.
We didn't throw that tea in the harbor for no reason.
Hey man, I live
with you.
here. Had to free themselves from the British. The Americans did, and I was
Mhm.
born in another country that had to free themselves from the British. I do not like the British.
Did you notice it got to a point where it was pretty easy to free yourself from the British?
Yeah, after a while, everybody's just freeing themselves from the British.
That got
Yeah.
way too easy, to be honest. Chief Skull says Ralph is just upset his Lakers are going to suck again this year, so he's just taking it out on Team USA. Yeah.
Oh, they won't suck. They'll win another in-season title. I'm sure of it.
Yay! USO Grande says, I guess I should clear up some confusion. I do listen and like the Weekend Warriors. Ralph's a great host and surprisingly better than the commercials.
Surprisingly.
But
that's funny.
He is a Seahawk fan and an LA team fan, so, well, you know what to do, Ralph.
Suck it. I get it.
Yep. Walter Mellon says, question for Ralph. If you're not impressed with Team USA basketball, whose jersey are you going to buy? France's? Spain? You bandwagon fan?
Oh my God.
Whoa. I'm a Team USA. I am a United States citizen. I support the US. I'm afraid because I don't think they're that good. I think they should be better.
They are that good. They're just not having to
And the
exert
thing
themselves.
is, if you could play them like a normal roster where it's just like, look, some of you guys just aren't going to play.
You have to.
Yeah.
When you get into those good games against those good teams, if you don't do that, you lose.
But using the depth that you have that nobody else has is smart right now.
Right, he just did it because the two were crying about it the other day after the game. What was it? Tatum and the other guy were crying.
Well,
'cause they
no,
didn't play.
Kerr was the one who called himself an idiot for not playing Tatum. Tatum wasn't crying about it.
They were good without him.
They asked Tatum if he was hurt. He said, "No, I'm good."
Good. Sit on the bench. We're better without you.
Okay, but let's be honest about what happened. He was not crying about not being able to play.
If you want honesty, you need to find another show.
Well,
what do you mean? I'm honest.
True, but we are also perhaps we like the misinformation every now and then.
Yeah. I mean, we have Neil on this station. We have Mr. AZ Sports on this station.
Oh my God.
There's some misinformation.
Firing shots at your own co-hosts.
Well, that's what I do.
We should have a pageant, the misinformation pageant.
I think those two would be the runner-up in the winner.
Here is misinformation. Harry Soap says Olympic basketball rules. So much for LeBron flopping, huh? And
he hasn't really needed to. Look at him.
Angry Texan says Ralph's right, Keon's wrong. I trust a man with a last name of Romano. Okay.
You better trust a man with the last name of Romano, otherwise you might get a visit.
What, are you related to the Angry Texan?
Just saying. He understands. He gets it. Okay. I like
syphilis.
This guy.
Wait, what do you get?
No. He understands what that means.
Hefty Lefty says Italy had the #1 overall pick in 2006. Andre Bergnani went to the Raptors. Marco Bellinelli wasn't too bad.
Oh my Marco Bellinelli wasn't too bad. Danilo Gallinari is the one I was trying to think of who's on the Italian national team. And
where are they now?
So
and we're done.
So but Bargnani got drafted in like 2004. Like he would have retired by now anyway.
Did he ever play?
He did. He had a really great rookie year. Let's not talk about any of He was rookie of the year. Let's not talk about anything that happened after that.
Big George says Team USA is 7th overall in gold medals. That is not good. It's unacceptable. We need to do better. But yeah, because remember, there was a lot of time where it was just a bunch of dumb college kids. So
that's because track hasn't started yet.
Yeah, it's just
wait till track starts.
No, he's just saying overall, like over, the history of the Olympics.
I thought he meant in this.
No, we're number 1 in medals right now.
Not in gold medals.
No, we're way back down there. Bear Claw says, just an FYI. What is today? Oh, that's my fault. He says, yeah, your Dylan Cohen picks say August 1st. I got ahead. I posted that up there for him. So that's on me. So I can fix that. Thank you, Bear Claw. Appreciate that. Hurry Harry says, did I just hear China? No, I said China for China, not vagina.
Oh my God.
Good Lord.
I didn't have anything to say vaginally. Lost Toby says, how quickly do listeners drop off when Ralph joins? Asking for a friend.
Actually, Ralph makes people angry enough that people say they're going to leave, but they stay just to argue with him.
That's true. Yeah. Lost Toby, by the way, who's your friend? Who's your friend, you liar? F the process says,
wow.
Just go based on the NBA draft. It's full of international players. That should show how close the gap has gotten. Yeah, that's a good point.
No one's arguing that. They're just not from Sudan.
Yeah, well, there's a little
right, but the thing is, for every international player that's making it to the NBA, like there are other quality leagues in the world that back in '92, those leagues didn't exist. Players were not playing in an Australian league and in the Spanish and French league and in the Israeli league that's somehow really good for some reason.
I didn't even know they had them.
It's just like they were, but those leagues weren't as deep, obviously. And like
they were getting there though. They were starting to
at the beginnings, but now they figured it out. That's why they've got so many young players in our league.
Yeah.
Chief Skull says, I'd trust Ray Romano before I trust Ralph Romano when it comes to sports. That's a good point. Ray Romano's a comedian who pretended to be a sports guy, and you still trust him more than you trust Ralph, I guess.
First of all, don't talk about my brother.
Okay.
We've had this conversation.
You wish.
All right.
Big George says, I mean for these games, we're struggling with gold medals. Oh, okay. You did mean what Ralph thought. But here's the thing. Who gives a crap? It's early. We have more medals than anybody. Let's be happy with that. Yes, I want to see us have more gold than anybody, but man, we got a whole nother week and a half. Just chill. T-Licious says, I'd like to congratulate one of the most disrespected players in the NFL on being number 28 on the top 100. Talking about my man, Brock Purdy. Well deserved. Okay. I mean, I think he's going to have another good year. I think that the whole poor Brock Purdy thing can stop now. I think he's respected. I think he's proven himself.
I agree.
He's a good quarterback.
And I think it's fair for people to doubt when a player shows up and is on a team that loaded. How good is the guy? And people, we had that period, and then we got past.
All I'll say about Brock Purdy, and I do like him, is but when Ayuk is out, he's different.
Yeah, and I think
he's very different.
And it's not necessarily because there's that. I just think that's not necessarily like a Brock Purdy specific thing. There are a lot of quarterbacks. You take away that deep threat, they become different people.
Yeah, he becomes okay.
Yeah, so like that's
not good.
That's the issue with Brock Purdy is what will the Niners have to be? A, if they don't pay Ayuk. B, if for whatever reason, paying Brock Purdy means that there's a lot of talent that has to go.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. Brock Purdy, like any other quarterback, if you don't have your guy, you don't have a good guy, then who the hell are you throwing to? So I wouldn't put that on Brock Purdy as much as I put that
they have other guys
on the team for not having a better crew. Now, if he has, if you think there are better receivers on that team, then that's all about practice, man. We're talking about practice.
So
he better figure it out because I think Ayuk's going to leave. So,
boy, he better hope not. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and pick it back up. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. The U.S. women's soccer team beat Australia 2-1 today to finish group play 3-0. The U.S. will face Japan in the quarterfinals on Saturday. Canada also advanced to the quarterfinals with a 1-0 win over Colombia. Canadians will get a chance to defend their gold despite the 6-point deduction for spying on opponents' practices with a drone. Bam Adebayo had 18 points and Kevin Durant had 14 to lead the U.S. men's basketball team to a 103-86 win over South Sudan. The Americans will face Puerto Rico on Saturday. And with 4 more medals today, the United States now has 30 in these games, the most of any competing nation. France is second with 26. China is third with 19. 9 of China's 19 medals are gold, which gives them the lead there. France and Japan have 8 golds apiece. Australia sits in third place with 7 gold medals. The United States so far has collected 5. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ryan Radke, Westwood One Sports.
Hi, I'm April Rose, and we all know about the speed of sound. But have you ever thought about the sounds of speeding? If you drive over the speed limit, there are lots of sounds that you might hear. You could hear the sound of your vehicle crashing, the sound of first responders desperately trying to save you. You could even hear the sound of people crying at a funeral. Because if you drive over the speed limit, you could do damage that's beyond repair. One way or another, speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So the Olympics continue on. I think not at the moment. I think it's like middle of the night in France right now, if I'm not mistaken. And it'll probably pick back up around midnight our time. It'll be like 8 in the morning there. I don't know.
9. It's 9 hours.
All right, fine. Close enough. You know, maybe I wasn't talking about Arizona time. You ever think of that? Shut up. 888-368-1580. Tired of taking everyone's crap today. That's all. But yeah, all right. So, you know, Ralph is worried that Team USA's not dominant enough, doesn't think they're good enough. I'm not worried about that. But there's other things that are happening that we need to worry about, I guess. And I'm not worried about it. But oh man, people are making a big deal about this. They're saying, hey, we got a slow pool. What? The pool, slow. It's slow. It's a slow pool. What the hell are you talking about? It's water. It's the same water everyone else swims in. And it's like, you know, to win, you got to beat the other people in the water. So let's not worry about the times. Let's worry about who's first. And, you know, I mean, the things that they get all upset about, but I guess what turned out is that they put this temporary pool in, right? And a temporary pool was built at 2.15 meters, which is deeper than the minimum standard of 2 meters when they approved the Paris Games back a couple of years ago, but a little more shallow than the current World Aquatic recommendation, which is 2.5 meters. So it's 2.15 meters instead of 2.5 meters. And so then they're like, well, 3 meters would be the ideal. It's like, son of a bitch, could you tell me how deep the pool's supposed to be? It's like, fine, okay, fine. But here's the thing. We're all swimming in the same thing. And then here's the reason they say it matters. Waves. They're like, well, the more shallow the pool, the greater the turbulence when the swimmers are in there making waves. Deeper the pool, calmer the water, sweeter the berry. I don't know. Anyway, so, tighter the sweater. How does that go? Anyway, so I guess they're saying, well, that makes it very slow. It's a slow pool. So it lacks depth, strange levels, shallow pool. People are like, you're not going to get good times. You're not going to get good times.
Yeah, this does not affect the races. You still
they're
have to
like,
swim.
hey, by the way, you can see the water still moving in between heats. So that affects the next bunch of swimmers.
I mean, it does.
Who gives a crap? Is
but-
there
well,
is there a start? Is there a finish?
Well,
Everyone's in the same water.
Does
Does it affect a certain lane?
It doesn't affect the races, right? Like if you're the fastest swimmer in the pool, you're the fastest swimmer in the pool, you ought to win the race. But for the people who showed up and knew they were going to kick ass and really wanted to break either their personal record or an Olympic record or a world record on the biggest stage possible, those are the people that are like, man, wouldn't that I mean, these are competitive people.
That's nice, but guess what? There's a start, there's a finish. There's this many people to swim. Who got there first? Hey, guess what? You get a gold.
The person who just got that bronze and just, wow, I can't believe I'm up here on the podium. That is not the person who cares whether or not the pool is the right depth. It's people like Katie Ledecky who she beat everybody in the 1500 meter again. There's a point where she wasn't even on the screen with the rest of the swimmers.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
She's just killing people out there. You want the world record, can't get the world record because the pool's shallow. That's who's complaining about this.
You go get the world record somewhere else. You know what?
Probably, but
stop whining. Race your race. We'll see what happens.
But it's not to me. It's not about like whining. It's just, hey, I really wanted that.
Yeah, the Frenchy French, they were told at the time 2.15 meters is acceptable, and they're like, yeah, that works. And then later on, somebody, I don't know why, in 2 years they figured, hey, we should make these pools deeper. It took them 100 years to figure this out. And now everybody's like, oh, the French are stupid.
Well, it's not that they're dumb, but it does add to, look, you've got the shallow pool, you've got problems with transportation, you've got a poop river. Like, it's just adding. It's not any one thing.
I would be more worried about the poop river.
Yeah, it is, but it's just in a list of things, just another thing on the list.
Yeah, at least the shallow pool indoors don't stank like poo.
By the way, triathlon stuff starts tomorrow, so we'll
they
see.
did finally practice in it.
We'll see how Pooh River goes.
This one gal was like, she's like, I came around the buoy and I got dunked, and she says, a lot of that water went in my mouth.
Oh,
oh my God. Oh, get her some penicillin. That's
horrible.
It's just the French.
So
we should have just let Germany have them.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh my God!
You know what? That was
the problem is if you let Germany have them, there'd be a whole lot of other people speaking German too. Like,
we could have blocked them off at the borders.
But the water, let's be fair, the water would have been clean. But then we probably wouldn't want to have the Olympics there. So plus minus. Yeah. Let's go to the text line, 888-368-1580. Lost Toby says, this guy right here, certified badass, and he gives me a picture, and it's a picture of the Turkish shooter guy. They had the shooting in the Olympics, right? And I don't know if you've seen the South Korean. It looks like a cyborg, got these glasses, special little thing on it, and it's all this technology, and wearing a special thing, and all outfitted. This dude from Turkey walks up, just in a t-shirt with his left hand in his pocket, and he just walks up there and just goes.
She did that too, and I wonder if that's just a thing they do.
The hand in the pocket.
Yeah.
Well, this guy, he had just on regular glasses.
Yeah,
and he had a look on his face. That's how he was outfitted. T-shirt that says Turkey, glasses, and just like okay, I've had enough. Got silver. He got silver.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know what South Korea got, but this guy. He got respect. That's what he got. Don't mess with that guy.
Don't mess with the Turks, man.
Let's see. Then Lost Elvis sent me pictures of these cyborgs from the Koreas. Just everything in the world, and sitting there like this weird stance with their face like on their arm. This guy just walked up and went, pew, pew. I win. Bye. I'm going home now. Kentucky Queen says, isn't that what they say about Ralph? He's different. He's special. He has STDs.
No,
I don't know what that was referred to, but yeah.
I don't know that they say that about Ralph. I've not heard this.
Nor do I ever have a rash, so I'm not sure what she's talking about.
Well, just you can't see it doesn't mean we can't see it.
Oh, trust me.
The Jet, what the hell? Says getting really cloudy in the West Valley. And he sent me a fake picture of a cloud that looks like boobs. What's wrong with you? Send me pictures of clouds that look like boobs. Chief Skull says a certain 4-letter word station put out quarterbacks that were going to have a good season. List number 2 was Jordan Love. Number 3, Brock Purdy. Talk about no respect. They put a guy who has 1 year starting quarterback ahead of a guy who's taken a team to the Super Bowl already.
I mean, yeah, but
Brock almost did it twice.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Jordan Love is better than Brock Purdy, but let's not act like Jordan Love's team wasn't significantly worse.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
that is fair.
It's and like to say Brock Purdy took the Niners to the Super Bowl. He took a team that had Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle and Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. He's really good, but let's not act like he's throwing this roster on his back and carrying them to the promised land. That's not what's happening.
I mean,
here.
Randy could have taken him to the Super Bowl. Come on.
I don't know that that's true.
I think he could have.
Randy could have taken him to the Pro Bowl.
Because it's pretty obvious Trey Lance wasn't taking him anywhere. So it's not like you could plug anybody in there. But let's just be honest about it. Like the team's really good, and so you have to account for Jordan Love elevated a roster with a bad offensive line and an injured group of receivers where like the best receiver, we don't even know if that guy's a true number 1.
Big George says, to be fair, the pool is the shallowest Olympic pool they've ever had. Yeah. Almost as shallow as my ex-girlfriend, the model, but not quite that shallow. F the process says, imagine complaining about winning. Ralph. By the way, 49ers carried Jimmy G to a Super Bowl. Beer Bob says, like they say, it's the motion of the ocean that matters. Well, like you might say. The rest of us don't have to. Walter Mellon says, Jeffrey, I understand what you're saying. Wouldn't it be different if the basketball court wasn't the same size or the rim wasn't at 10 feet or 10'1"? Just saying for the sake of argument, if the pool wasn't built to proper spec, it could affect the outcome of races. No, it can't. See, this is the difference. If you change the way basketball is played by making the courts different size or the rims different size, well, that could throw people off. Yes, they all have to play on the same thing, but it's going to throw some people off. But it won't affect the outcome because if that's what they do, everybody has to compensate equally, and you still have an even playing ground. The pool is the proper spec. It is the proper spec of what they told France it was supposed to be 2 years ago. So they said, don't worry about changing it. So the pool, even, it doesn't affect the outcome of the races. It affects the outcome of their times, not the actual races. If you're faster than me, you're going to get there before me, no matter what's happening.
Yeah. I do think that, with France, that there was a range, 2 meters to 2.5. They're in the range. So they built the pool to proper specs.
Moist One says, Odell Beckham would probably love to swim in the Poop River. Come to think of it, so would a lot of Germans. Average Joe says,
oh my God. Oh,
why Germans?
I'll explain to you later.
We don't. Oh my God.
Average Joe says, I don't understand the pool depth issue because it was the same company that's built the last 40 years of pools for the Olympics. They're standard. So why did they only do the minimum? Had to be a cost saving. Well, Paris, the people in Paris decided that is what they were going to go with. And at the time, it was acceptable.
They had to save some money on account of they dropped $1 billion to try and get the poop out of the Poop River, only for there to still be poop in the Poop River. They're trying to cut costs, guys.
Rico Suave, did you just send me a shirtless picture of you flexing in the mirror? And then he put on there 50 years strong.
That is a very Rico Suave thing to do.
Rico Suave is he's built like a brick house. He's muscular. He looks like He looks like he could still play. You know what I'm saying? But I don't need a shirtless picture of you, dude. But
you said he could still play. So.
Could just mark me down as impressed, Rico. I don't need to. Yeah.
No further evidence required, Your Honor.
Yeah,
please.
You look badass in that photo. You'd look badass with a t-shirt too. I'm just saying. Delicious says, well, Purdy did lead 2 comebacks in the playoffs, so suck it, Ralph.
I didn't say anything bad about Purdy.
Yeah, I know, Ralph. I don't think he even opened his mouth about this.
I just said that he's different when Ayuk's not there. That's all.
Average Joe says Rico Suave wants you to send that to Monkey Puncher.
Yeah, there you go.
If you really request that I send that to Monkey Puncher, I will do so, Rico. I will do so. I don't think you want that smoke, though. Unless you love that crazy girl energy, you don't want it. You just saying. Yeah, he was ripped, though. We could all hope to look as ripped as Rico Suave.
Stop looking at that pitch.
I'm not looking at it anymore.
Oh, okay.
I've saved it.
Oh, no.
All right, we're going to take a break. Back with more of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/TC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Attention all Arizona workers. You may be entitled to receive earned paid sick time. Every Arizona employer is responsible for keeping track of your hours and recording how much earned paid sick time is available under state law. Posters about paid sick time and minimum wage laws also need to be posted in every office. Get posters and learn more at azica.gov. That's azica.gov. This message is sponsored by the Industrial Commission of Arizona.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event when Dave, the sales guy, asks, want to test drive the Rogue? And I'm like, let's go. We're driving when Dave says, check out the V6 turbo engine. I hit the gas and whoosh. I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Dave goes, if you think that's cool, watch this. Dave shows me the miles per gallon and I'm like, whoa, that's pretty impressive fuel economy. Dave mentions, these new cars are going fast. And in that moment, I had to have that Rogue. Crazy, right?
Wait till you hear how I got my Sentra.
Now Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city, 34 highway to 30 city, 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. MSRP excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
Steve Jurich here. After working in financial services for over 20 years, I finally confirmed what investors really want, including me. And it's simple. All they're asking for is 20% annual return with no risk at 100% liquidity. Here's the problem. A money market is safe and liquid, but offers almost zero yield. Mutual funds and ETFs are liquid with upside potential, but aren't safe. A carefully selected next-generation index annuity through IQ Wealth may offer 10% ample liquidity, principal protection, and a lifetime income yield potentially double to triple that of quality bonds. By yielding more income using fewer dollars, our system allocates more money for you for capital growth. It's a winning combination.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now, 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the claims paying ability of the insurer, so compare with Steve, 480-902-3333. Call Steve now. Your home for sports.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Pull the Plug says, below the shirtless photo is a set of dried up raisins over there.
Wow.
You don't even know him.
Man.
Rico Suave says, it's fine. Oh, he wants me to send the picture over to Monkey Puncher. All right. Monkey Puncher says Rico Suave. I don't know much about him. Is he single? Well, that's a good question. I guess I should have asked that before I started offering. Are you single, Rico? Because Monkey Puncher wants to know. Lost Toby says Rico's picture is the new standard office computer wallpaper now. I think it should be. Screaming Eagle says, not a surprise that tomorrow is August 1st. And if you already mentioned it, I apologize for not listening to you. I'm getting really excited for fantasy football. So when's our draft date? I don't know. Well, I'll get back to you on that. But by the way, yes, tomorrow is August 1st. So as always, remember to pay your rent. Make sure you're paying your rent. Because maybe slip it in the slot tonight so you don't have to worry about it being late tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. Man, I lived in an apartment on Higley and Baseline back in the day. And boy, I learned it's like you get that in there. You make sure you put it in somebody's hand because, man, if they one time I got there at night and the drop off was closed. I was like, well, that's not right. And then I walked in the next day. I said, hey, your drop off was closed. Here it is. They're like, yeah, it's still late. I'm like, wait, what? Your drop off was closed. That's not my fault. Should have had it in during business hours. You know, I work for. I'm leaving. I'm moving. I just hate these people. You corporate evil bastards.
Yeah. I had to argue when I first moved here. I had to argue with the rental place because I put it in their little Dropbox thing, and apparently it got caught in the little latch, so they just didn't see it. So they're like, "Hey, your rent's late." It's like, no, it's not. I put the check in there, and yeah, we had a big argument about it, and then we went to the box, and then they removed it and saw it behind the latch. It was I'm glad I don't live there anymore.
If you hadn't been there, they have denied that that it was ever in there.
Yeah,
they just to get their late fees. So just remember, pay your rent tomorrow. Make sure it gets in the right hands of the right person. That's all I'm saying. Oily Stool says, "I like dirty women." Okay, good for you. That's great. Drinking poop water, and then the rest I'm not reading. Shame on you, Oily Stool. F the Process says the 49ers carried. Oh, I read that already. Sorry, F the Process. By the way, F you. No, not really.
Wow.
Just threw that out there. Why not? Big George says, did you guys know that the Diamondbacks had the best record of any team in Major League Baseball in the month of July with a record of 17-8? Ralph, the Diamondbacks are coming for your Dodgers. Only 5.5 games back.
Oh, my God.
Well, he's yawning because he knows that the Dodgers are going to blow it when it counts anyway. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Big George, keep thinking that.
Cheese Skull says, is Rico Suave's burner phone text name catfished? Well, maybe. Listen, let's get back to what we were talking about. And Simone Biles, you know, she is the now most winningest Olympian in American history, right? Is that true? Is that a true statement? I think I'm right.
I think you are. Yeah.
So, you know, now she's starting to talk and people are like waiting and writing down everything she says. And some of it, you know, you're like, all right, that's cool. The other stuff is maybe don't say so much, but all right. So she took a swipe at Michaela Skinner. So she posted up a picture of her and her teammates winning that gold. And she posted up the picture of her and her friends. And underneath she wrote, lack of talent, lazy, Olympic champions. Because that is what Michaela Skinner had said about her and her teammates, and saying that she's like, oh, well, besides Simone, I feel like the talent and depth is just not like what it used to be. Like notice, obviously, a lot of girls don't work as hard. They don't have the work ethic. So this was Simone's response to that criticism. Hey, look, we got the gold. So that's all right. That's all right. It wasn't necessary. But hey,
I think it just for them, and like again, like these are all competitive people. You trash the team when the team gets gold, they're gonna have something to say about it.
So she had her say, and then you know, they were talking about her nickname, her awesome nickname for the women's team. She says you can call us FAAFO, the F around and find out team. I'm like, okay, well, that's probably not going to be good on the Wheaties box, but okay.
Well, not great, but sure. I mean,
then she goes, okay, how about this? We're the Golden Girls. Golden Girls? Yeah, you probably should stop talking.
She's just screwing around and having fun.
That's the thing. You're right. But the thing is, everybody is writing down every little thing she says. Okay. So just be careful, Simone. You're fine. Just be careful. Just remember.
She backs it up. I mean, I don't think they can write down whatever they want. The gap between Simone Biles and like the next best gymnast on the planet Earth is
winningest
canyon.
gymnast, or does she have the most? Who has the most medals personally? Is it now? Who is it? Is this other swimmer?
Wasn't it Mark Spitz?
No, Greg
no,
Spitz got
no.
blown out by Phelps.
By
but
Phelps.
Phelps just got beat by somebody. Who did Phelps just get? Who? I don't know. But I know that Simone
Yeah, it's
Biles.
It's gymnast. No.
Okay. Well, Simone Biles, though, she there is something that she's. I learned this when I was 16. I learned this a million years ago, and I was so glad for the education. So there was this gal who sat behind me in one of my classes in high school, and she was African American, and her and I were just like great pals. She would rub my shoulders. I was sitting there. I was like, it was like, wow. So then I offered, like, here, listen, fair is fair. So she got in front of me, and I was like, all right, I'm going to rub her shoulders. And she's like, whatever you do, though, don't touch the hair.
Obviously.
You don't touch a black girl's hair. I did. I was like, okay.
You will lose a hand.
She very kindly and nicely explained it, but just in case I was rubbing her neck and accidentally, don't do that. Okay.
It's a mistake.
It's a lifelong lesson, and it's served me well. But I didn't know this. So, I mean, I wouldn't, but I didn't know it was a thing. Simone Biles was sitting there, and she's like, man, there's no air conditioning. She had her hair in a ponytail, and she says, hey, don't come at me about my hair. It was done, but the bus had no AC. It's like 9,000 degrees. She says, she's like, she says, listen, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, but listen, next time you want to comment on a black girl's hair, just don't.
Also correct.
Okay. So I didn't have that piece of information from when I was 16.
Because if you don't know the process of what it takes to make that hair look good, don't say anything. You
right.
And there are people who get on the internet and say things that they have no business saying, talking about issues that they have no knowledge about. And hey, do it at your own peril. Yep. I just don't recommend it. I don't recommend it.
Well,
don't recommend it.
Now, the girl in high school always had cool hair. And occasionally it's like, hey, you're looking good. Hair's looking good. That's okay. When I said, your hair's looking good, she's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. If you're going to go to criticize, though, you better.
If I was just say, hey, what happened? Just sort of woke up. Why? She'd be rubbing my shoulders, but I'd still be unconscious. I think just, So anyway, thanks for that updated education, Simone Biles.
Well, by the way, Phelps has 28 medals. He's the most ever.
Okay, so it's still Phelps with the most medals.
He has 23 gold.
Somebody broke his world record. That's what it was.
And there's a Larissa Latanya, who was a gymnast who had 18, and she has the most of a gymnast.
Oh, I thought no. I think Simone Biles has overtaken her, hasn't
it? I don't think she has more than 18 medals. She might have maybe more gold medals.
Yeah, I think it's gold.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, whatever the case, Simone Biles is pretty dominant and amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Lost Toby says, paid my rent last Friday. My old apartment complex was vicious. Led the city in evictions. You get a notice 48 hours after it's late with a fun $150 fee. But yet our state legislature refuses to take up legislation that limits corporate landlords' ability to do whatever they want. Now, I hear you. I mean, I'm just trying to help you all be on time.
Yeah.
But, extenuating circumstances, you're going to get what you get, I guess. Bills fan Russ says Phelps #1 with 23 gold medals. You are correct, Ralph. Big George says, Jeffrey, there's nobody more decorated than Michael Phelps. No one's even close. Yeah, we already established that. Thank you. George is always just lagging a little behind with the information, but thank you for that. Can I just say who's badass? Here's who's badass. I mean, we're looking at like a lot of badasses in the Olympics. There's a lot of cool things that are happening. There's great stories almost every day. But I've got to say, Nada Hafez of Team Egypt, she's an Olympic fencer, and she's 7 months pregnant, and she's fencing, which means, I don't know, it's 2 against 1. But
she's cheating.
That might be cheating. But I don't think the baby gets a foil. So I think it's still all right.
I also don't think the baby is contributing.
Well,
if
it actually
anything,
makes it hard because their big belly's sticking out, and you just don't have to grow very. You're like, boop, there you go.
Well, apparently not.
No, she's doing well, and I think she got a medal. Yeah. Oh no, she didn't get a medal. She didn't get a medal, but she did do well. She made it, I think, to round 16, but then she lost. But still, she got to compete in Paris while 7 months pregnant. I just feel like that's not probably safe for the baby. Not gonna tell a woman how to be a mom, but
I'm pretty sure that if her doctors had said no, I wouldn't do that, she wouldn't be there doing that.
well, the doctor's like, you're not drinking wine, are you? Oh no.
Not smoking.
I don't know if the doctor realized that sword fighting was on the table.
I'm pretty sure it came up. There's no way it didn't.
Well, I mean, it didn't if she didn't want it to.
Okay.
She's like, so how have you been, Nada? Oh, been good. Got any plans? Yeah, I'm traveling. Oh, you're going to the Olympics? Yes. Well, have fun watching. Right.
The Olympic team has doctors,
Sure.
though. It's just like should we let her go out there? Like I'm sure somebody approved of that to say, okay, this is not going to put the baby in danger. She's not running the 100 meters. She's
It's Egypt. Yeah.
She could probably get like a
You
little
do-
shield
you do
for
wear,
her belly.
wear
you know?
padding for fencing. You don't just go out there in a shirt and shorts.
Hope not.
You just don't want to run the baby through, you know?
I don't think you can. Don't think you can.
Especially not in Texas. 888-368-1580. F the process says, really, just keep her away from that river. No, that's a good point. That baby's going to come out with 3 arms and 92 fingers or something.
Yeah. If she was a triathlete, then every doctor in the world would be saying no. No.
Well, let's see here.
Mutant baby.
Oh, Rico Suave is a good point. He says, Michael Phelps, he's a great swimmer, but he's got to lose that man bun. That is killing his man card credibility. A man bun always does. You're right. You're absolutely right. Lost Toby says, I read that. My text line is doing goofy things here. Bills fan Russ says, well, that's one way to have your water broken. Yeah, you don't want it like coming out the front like a fountain, though. Like
I just don't think that's going to happen. You know, they wear
overboard.
They wear a suit.
The suit is not foil proof. You can go through it if it's sharpened.
Yeah, I don't think they're using a literal sword though.
Well, they have a tip on it.
But I've never seen, I've never heard of in any of the Olympics that have had fencing, someone got stabbed actually in fencing in the Olympics.
The saddest part about all this is the minute I said sword fighting, Moiswin went.
That is the worst part. It's just
well, here's something good. How about this? USA Rugby got a $4 million donation from the Washington Spirit owner, Michelle Kang, to help invest in women's rugby and push the sport along. So that's nice. I think she did it mostly out of fear of that one lady.
And a tax write-off.
Yeah. She's just a little bit nervous. She's like, she probably says, ladies, I'm going to give you 1. And the lady's like, 4. I'm giving you $4 million to not, get stiff-armed as I try to leave. Thank you. So, Ralph, where were you born?
Hollywood.
Yeah, literally Hollywood.
Literally Hollywood Presbyterian. Yeah.
And well, you're where you were born's not on this list.
No,
but your first place you lived, where's that? Here in the United States,
New York.
Okay. We'll use New York for that. So I got a map of where all of Team USA is from, and Colorado, where I'm born, 27 Olympians. There are 10 Olympians from Arizona right now, and 122. That's the most from California, because basically California is humongous. It is a humongous state.
No, it's not.
41 are from Texas, which means other people will have to read menus for them. Anyway, see, New York.
I'd like to get the escargot.
I'm trying to. 23 from New York. Only 23. And let's see. Yeah. None from North Dakota. None.
I'm not surprised.
None from West Virginia.
It's not the Winter Olympics.
None from Washington, D.C. And yeah, so those are the nuns. Oh, Wyoming.
Oh, the places where there's barely anybody.
There's one guy on a horse in Wyoming with a tear going down. I didn't make it.
Tried out for the team, but they didn't bring me along.
I didn't make it.
Said I couldn't bring my horse.
Angry Texan says, you're right, Jeffrey. That baby might be cooking for 7 months in that Egyptian fencer's belly, but that baby became a person the moment of conception in the eyes of the state of Texas. Yeah, and once the baby's out, the state of Texas don't give one bit of a crap about that baby, do it? Hell no. Whee! Glendale Runner says it took fencing for 5 years. There are 2 types of foil blades: French blade, rectangular shaped and flexible; Italian blade, square and rigid. Meets against people with Italian blades had a lot of bruises. French blades, ain't no problem. I want to see him fight with the. Italian blades. All right. Hour 3 is next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is great because you're rarely rewarded for just being you. Ever get rewarded for being left-handed? No. You get to use weird scissors. Your reward for being a Capricorn? Cold birthdays that conflict with the holidays. And your reward for quickly responding to every work email? More emails. But with Snapshot, even left-handed Capricorns with proper email etiquette could get rewarded for good driving. So download the Progressive app today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Snapshot not available in all states or from all agents.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, Radio Pound, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He'll be back sooner or later. Got Ralph from Harmon Solar with us. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line. 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live in the very hot Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
Another warm one.
Huh?
Another warm one, huh?
Yeah, I think he said another hormones. What? I'm not having menopause up in here.
Not yet, no.
Yeah, well, I think the clouds are rolling in. We're getting a little monsoon action starting to happen, so it should start to help cool some things down. But damn, every time I come in here, I keep telling the building management, and they keep saying, "Oh, we're fixed it," and then they haven't. So I'm just taking pictures every hour of that thermostat over there, and then gonna send an angry letter, and then I'm gonna send a picture of the fan I use to try to keep the room cool. Then I'm gonna take a picture of a big turd in the toilet, just adding it in there just for
wow.
This is what I think of your guys' work, and
Maybe send him a picture of Rico Suave.
I'm gonna send a picture of Rico Suave. This is the guy's gonna come whoop some asses. This guy's gonna come whoop some asses if you don't get it a little bit cooler up in here and fast. So that's a good idea, Ralph. Thank you. 888-368-1580. Lost Toby says, Ralph, born in an alley in Hollywood. Is that it?
Born in an alley? No.
Fish Tank says, Jeffrey, it's taken a long time, but you finally worn off on Keon. He's doing impressions now. What?
No.
You did, of the guy from the South ordering.
The Texas, but that's just because I lived in Texas. That's like the one that I can actually do. That's the only one I think I can actually.
How about you, Ralph? You doing impersonations?
No.
I do an impersonation of Ralph. You want to hear? No,
now I'm Polish.
Yes, exactly right. That's a long game for the last 2 hours. Hefty Lefty says 570,000 people that live in Wyoming are too busy for the Olympics. Until rodeo becomes a sport, then that's their time to shine.
I'm surprised that's not a sport.
See, here's the thing. If it's something that has to do with horses, cows, and they don't get to choose whether or not they're in the sports, so that's not a sport. You know what I'm saying? Unless the cow's like, oh yeah, I want to do this. Or the horse is like, hell yeah, let's barrel race. Then I'll be like, okay. But until we actually can find the intention, they are the real athlete. It doesn't count. Don't be giving the rider or the jockey or anybody else the medal or the certificate
which
or the
they do
prize
for the dressage.
Give it to the damn animal. No, bullfighting. They're like, hey, good job, we're eating you now.
There's a guy that's that's in the Olympics, and they're like, hey, he's the oldest Olympian. It's like, man, he rides a horse.
That doesn't count.
But it's the combination, right?
Well, if half the combination it can't choose, then it's not right.
Can't choose.
The horse can't choose whether or not it's being raced or ridden or whatever.
They're bred for it. They love it.
They're bred for it. They love it. That doesn't sound like they have a choice.
Ask them?
So what is a PETA show now? Come on.
No, I'll eat the hell out of all these animals.
Okay.
Except for horses.
But it ain't a sport if they can't choose.
I disagree, but
well, we do. Hefty Lefty says, I don't know. The bulls might be into bull riding. They don't get killed for being good at their job. Sure they do. If they gore a human being, they're like, oh, we have to put it down. But what? What? That doesn't seem fair. Quiet Cannon says, in bull riding the bull, they're now famous than the bull riders.
That's true.
That's for okay. I can't name either.
I can't name a bull rider or a bull from any of that.
No. Don't get me wrong. It's not a sport. It's manly as hell. They're rideable. It's manly as hell. I don't like the thing with the bullfighting though, because then they kill the bull. It's just it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, but it's like torturing it before you kill it. Where it's just like you could just kill it.
Yeah, but if it had a gun and you had a gun, now you've got something.
But they used to do the bullfight, then they would kill the bull and then take the meat and feed the poor.
That's all good. That's all good.
That's how it started.
Or here's an idea: instead of torturing the bull, just kill the bull and give it to the poor.
Well, you give the bull one last hurrah, because if he can get
there's
the guy,
no hurrah
to lose a rigged battle.
That
bull is not getting out of there alive.
They get softened up, Ralph.
So say the bull manages to take out the bullfighter, just absolutely, just somehow
it's happened,
pulls off the upset,
I
tramples this guy to death, gores him. That bull is not getting out of there alive. Which to me, you won. You won in the Coliseum.
Actually,
you should get out.
Actually, I thought if the bull killed the bull guy, that he did survive. They let him go. I could have swore that's how they used to do it. If he didn't, then he was dinner.
Yeah, I think it's the other way around.
And then the bullfighter's dinner.
Yeah, the bull's not getting out of there alive. Period. So, but listen, you know what? Again, I'm not trying to stop people from having rodeos. Just stop calling them sports.
Rodeos is pretty popular. I mean, they do big ones up in Canada. They did Stampede up there, and
I saw that bull that did that rampage. Yeah. Oh, I love that bull. That was awesome.
It's not enough for the bull to win. The bull has to win with style, basically. Like if the bull behaved particularly well. So if the bull wins but just ekes out a victory, you're still a 12-ounce steak that later that day.
But
Like,
if he
that's-
kills the bull guy, then he's good.
I bet they kill the bull.
No, he gets to survive.
I'd say that is with style. It should count, but you know
Style
how
points is killing the bull guy.
you know how people are.
Whatever they call those guys. I don't know what they have to call them.
Sore losers.
But yeah, the bull would get pardoned. Is what that would.
Pardon. Right? What's the bull guy called? Bullfighter.
Bullfighter. Yeah.
Yeah. Ole guy. The Ole guy.
So if he kills the bullfighter, he
The
wins.
bullfighter has every single advantage.
Well, just because he has swords and a red thing. I mean,
Yeah. Also, the bull didn't
daggers.
The bull didn't agree to fight for his
A
life.
confusing cape.
The bullfighter chose to step in that arena.
Yeah, the bull was just like, "Oh, you want me to
Has,
go in here?"
has been training and practicing to specifically fight this animal. I don't know, man. The bull didn't get to train. The bull doesn't know what the hell is going on.
My point is,
Where are you taking me?
I'm not trying to tell you to not have a rodeo. I'm not trying to PETA up this thing. All I'm saying is, it ain't a sport if the animal can't choose to do the sport. It's not a sport. I'm sorry. You're not going to change my mind. Angry Texan says, in Texas, we love our horses, but the moment they become lame, we put it down and turn them into Elmer's glue. Well, that's just a kindness for the horses in general. So that's not necessarily a Texas thing. Chief Skull says, Ralph, you don't just ride a horse. You have to break the horse down to allow someone to ride it.
I know. I understand that.
They're not bred for it. You still have to break them down.
Well, no, that's not totally true. I understand you have to break them down, but thoroughbreds are bred for running.
Oh, so they're not just bred, they're
that breed. That
thoroughbred.
breed is a running breed
Because they've been
they're fast,
engineered to be so, not because they have chosen to be so.
I'd have never talked to a horse about it. I don't know. I could ask.
I
Well,
feel
that's-
like you
that's the
talking
problem,
to a
isn't it?
horse is going to go pretty much the way it goes with you talking to anyone.
Well,
Someone's walking away very probably unhappy. Hefty Lefty says, my favorite protest in the Olympics every time is when the horses refuse to do a jump. I would love every second if the entire competition was stopped because every horse was like, no, we refuse.
Don't want to.
Horse has free will.
Like,
Doesn't have to jump.
but you jumped yesterday. I don't want to.
Right. So he gets to make a decision.
So I didn't ask for this.
I mean, you have to make a decision, but you're making a decision,
He still proved my point.
under duress. It's not that horses don't choose anything. Is that the whole point of the competition was not the horse's idea.
I think the horse would be like, I'd like to go over there and just eat some of that over there. And I'd like to go eat some, and I'd like to just go wander off, if you don't mind.
I could have just taken the carrots and apples from the beginning. You didn't have to.
You got any sugar? That's what I really want.
Sugar.
Beer Bob says bull riding in the Olympics should be if no one lasts a full 8 seconds and the bull gets the medals.
There you go.
I'm all for it. F the process says they also breed dogs for fighting. Doesn't make it right, Ralph.
I agree with you.
Come on,
That's-
Michael.
dogfighting is
Come
wrong.
on.
That's a really good point.
He's right. I mean, dogfighting is wrong. Wrong is wrong. I agree.
If dog fighting is wrong, so is making them horses and bulls do stuff.
No.
Bills fan Russ says they're called matadors. Oh, that's
Yeah,
right,
they are
the
matadors.
bullfighting
That's
guys.
right. Yep.
Ralph has crabs says if Ralph wants to know what a thoroughbred thinks, why doesn't he just ask his wife?
Whoa.
That might be a punch in the face
from her,
but it's a compliment. But it
I'm not sure where to go with that.
That's
I know,
I'm
right?
sure she's listening, so we'll see what she says.
That's a
It's-
line you don't cross. You don't say anything like that about another man's
Yeah.
wife. I don't. That's not good.
I feel like I'd have punched him in the face, but
Yeah.
But I mean,
I wouldn't have. I just let her do it.
compliment. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a compliment. It depends on what she does. Ralph has crabs. That was probably not right. You probably.
I would say I would drop the probably. That's not right.
Yeah.
Ralph has crap. You control all you want to, but there are lines. There are lines. That's one of them.
No wives, no moms. Well, I do moms.
I'll say you do, Mom.
Yeah, but that's like a generic, like
Yeah,
your
generic
mom. It's
mom,
not.
yeah.
It's not like a specific thing about someone's mom. It's just they ask a question. Response is gonna be.
See,
Your
your
mom.
mom thing works if like it's a positive.
I
You know
feel.
what I'm saying?
I feel he didn't mean that in a bad way.
Didn't mean in a bad way, but Ralph has crabs. Be more careful with that.
Yeah, even if you didn't.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he didn't mean it in a bad way. We'll see what he says. And if he did, we'll just introduce him to my wife.
Ralph just found a worse thing. Against the Spread says some bulls actually are allowed to live. This happens when, on rare occasion, the bull shows exceptional skill. After that, the bull is pardoned and allowed to go back to his ranch and live a happy life. Oh, they say that like your dog went to this ranch to live, but no, that dog is dead, and the bull is dinner.
I don't-
He's
I don't-
dinner.
I don't think the Bulls at dinner because there are plenty of Bulls to choose from for dinner. But the idea is the deck is stacked against the Bull from the beginning because he already didn't know when he woke up that morning he was going to be in a fight for his life.
I would like to see the guidelines for exceptional
Yeah.
skill.
Animals are dumb. They can't choose. Pippi No Stocking says nothing offends me. Feel free to call me anything for y'all's simple amusement. Not you, Ralph. Don't do it. Don't risk it. Stop yourself, Ralph.
I won't do it.
I don't know. Pippi No Stockings may not be offended, but I will judge you and think you are a bad person.
Well, here's Ralph Has Crab says, I didn't mean any disrespect at all.
See? That's what I thought.
I mean that she's a fine looking filly who's a purebred woman. Sorry for any misunderstanding.
See, that's what I kind of thought. That's why I said I think
I've
it's
got a
gonna be-
question.
Feels weird.
I got a question. When has Ralph Has Crabs ever seen your wife? So he's
she sees a lot of men, so I'm not really sure.
Okay, well that just entered the realm of none of my damn business. Gonna move right on. Got purple rocks in front of Ralph's house.
It's the reason
I
she
guess.
has no stockings.
Purple rocks.
Purple rocks. Purple rocks.
Ralph Has Crabs, you're fine. Don't
Pippi
worry.
No Stocking says, just don't call Ralph a thoroughbred.
Damn.
I have small ankles.
That's not the only thing. So, did you guys see this this picture of surfboard Jesus?
I have.
Did you see that?
So great photo.
It's just perfectly timed photo
Wow.
of surfboard Jesus right there. Just
That's crazy.
Perfect shot. It's one of those one in a millions. Brazilian surfer Gabriel Medina. It was just picture at the right time. He was celebrating winning. I don't know, whatever medal. But yeah. By the way, the surfing's not happening in France. That's happening in Tahiti, and their Olympic Village is a cruise ship. Why did they even bother doing this?
A cruise ship.
Why did they even bother doing that?
I hope they didn't put the cardboard beds on there because you put an Olympic Village on a cruise ship, you've already set the mood.
Well, Midwesterners will crush those cardboard beds on a cruise ship.
There's nowhere around France where they could have surfed. I know there's beaches because we stormed them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but those
but
aren't
maybe not the
surfing
kinds
beaches.
of waves because you need a certain kind of wave to surf. You can't just surf.
Tahiti
it.
seems like it'd be pretty far.
I mean,
I don't even know where Tahiti is, to be honest.
Isn't that in the Southeast Asia?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right. I had to look up.
That's odd.
And then you know what it is? I see these things. I'm like, hey, honey, we should go to Tahiti. Then I look up some of them. I'm like, I'm not sitting in a plane for 14 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, where's this place? Bali. Oh, it's India. Yeah, I'm not going that far. No, I'm not going that far. And here's the thing: the best beaches that are close enough to where I don't want to get my head cut off in Mexico. So I just have nowhere to go.
California has nice beaches.
With Californians on them, I'll pass.
Wow. Go to Del Mar in those areas. It's really nice.
Oh, I've been there. I've been there.
they're
I've been
nice
to
beaches.
Coronado and
Some of
San
the nicest
Diego.
beaches in the world.
Yeah, I wouldn't say world. F the process says, based on that river, I wouldn't trust the beaches. That's for sure.
That's a good point.
By the way, is it too early? It's too early to talk about the 2028 games, but I guess there's 6 sports going to be in that are not happening right now. Cricket, lacrosse, they're coming back. So those are sports. Baseball, softball, actual sports. What about squash? But flag football, I'll give that actual sport. But
I'm going to have to Google squash.
what the hell is squash? My wife every now and then slips squash into certain meals, and then she's like, "Ha, you ate squash." I'm like, "Damn it!" Yeah,
Isn't that like handball?
handball's all right.
Isn't squash like handball?
Yeah, but it's got rackets.
Yeah,
Apparently,
that's the only difference.
All right, I'll allow it. So I'll give that sport status as long as there's points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and it's like
got-
a respectable game,
looks like it just from the.
not something like
brief
Ralph would be
Googling.
good at.
Should have highlight in there. That'd be good.
Oh, that's dangerous.
I know. That's why it should be in there.
That's you know what? Tip of the hat to Ralph for the highlight. Yeah, I mean the lacrosse is a badass bruiser of a sport too.
Yeah.
I put lacrosse like rugby adjacent as far as toughness goes.
It's a cool sport.
A highlight, you could die.
So I've heard.
So
Cuba would have a great team.
I
Probably.
definitely want to see that. Cuba would finally show up. Yeah.
Yeah, because they'd probably be amazing in it.
Big George says Ralph just had a brilliant idea without even knowing it. How cool would it be to have the surfing competition have to take place on the beaches of Normandy. Even cooler would be the Americans winning the gold on the beaches of Normandy 80 years after D-Day, stomping on all them German Nazi heads.
That would be cool.
Well, so here's what here's how this works to make it interesting. You got everybody beach, like surfing down off the beach. You let the German team set up some like paintball gun, machine gun nests, and and try to shoot people with paintball guns as they're surfing.
So here's the deal with Tahiti.
Germans get no medals.
It's actually a territory of France.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
How is that a territory of France?
Because
they need to occupy that and be done with it.
I like the Australians surfing there going, no sharks. This is nice.
The colonizing of the British allowed for everybody to forget that the French were out there just basically taking everything too. So they're kind of also everywhere.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Mr. Pink Eye says, I have a question. Okay.
And now we wait. You could have just asked the question.
Oh, he says, why isn't volleyball more popular in America? I think volleyball is more entertaining than baseball and golf. There should be a volleyball professional league. Well, mostly because you're wrong. You're just wrong. It's not that entertaining.
I find volleyball to be very entertaining.
Yeah, well, it depends on the type.
Beach volleyball is very popular.
I like both.
The beach volleyball I like better because it's harder and, in some cases more interesting. But then you got people in a gymnasium and you're like, okay, whatever.
Collegiate volleyball is very good.
The game's got a strategy to it. And to me, it's like if I figure out what the strategy of the game is, I can enjoy it a lot better.
Set and spike. That's the strategy.
In the Midwest, it's extremely popular.
Those are things you do. Those are moves.
Don't they get like huge crowds at like Nebraska and stuff? Or, I mean, outrageous.
There's nothing else in Nebraska. They get huge crowds for poetry readings. Okay,
no, but
there's nothing.
Volleyball is great.
Nothing
How
to do there.
dare you assume they could read poetry?
No, Keon, it's being read to them.
Wow!
Don't act like they're actually reading it. So, Pink Eye, that's a fair question, but I don't know.
But because it, I mean, once you understand the game, especially like Ralph said at the college level, there's some.
It's really good.
Really good. I watched the Texas volleyball this past season. Was kind of excited, man.
Yeah, it's good.
Screaming Eagle says someday pickleball will be an Olympic sport. You're probably right.
He's right.
And I hate that because pickleball is never going to be a sport in my book. It's just dumb. Pickleball's dumb.
Why is it dumb?
It's like, here's what it is. It's nursing home games. Okay. It's like bocce ball, pickleball, badminton.
Whoa.
Badminton shouldn't be in the Olympics either.
What's wrong with bocce ball?
It's just for old guys just to play.
Well, no, it's not.
Yeah,
bocce
it is.
ball's
You
a
know
very
it.
popular sport now.
For your people. Outside of that, it's old people. The best at it are old Italian people. Everyone else, just plain old people.
We have young people that play bocce ball.
Because they're trying to like get money out of their grandparents.
Oh my God.
You know I'm right.
Not true.
You're just trying to win favor with Unc or Grandpa. You know what I'm saying? Don't act like the young people are like, hey, I can't wait to play bocce ball. They're like, God.
I know a lot of
if
young
I'm going to
people
get
that
this
play.
money, I'm going to play bocce ball.
I know a lot of young people that play. It's very popular.
A lot.
Yeah, it's a popular sport.
It's not a sport.
It absolutely is.
It's not a sport. Kyle G says squash is between racquetball and pickleball. So kind of teases the line of sport. Oh, yeah. Anything close to pickleball, I'm going to say nay. Nay to that one.
Have you ever played
squash?
Pickleball?
No.
I mean, I never have either, but I've seen how popular it is.
Here's what I would do. I'd play ping pong or I would play tennis. I'm not going to play this bastardized, mutant child of both.
It's like playing tennis standing on a ping pong.
I'll go play tennis. Tennis, I have some respect for to play because that's a little more athletic.
But you can't run that much.
If I'm just screwing around, I'll play ping pong, which is, by the way, not a sport. I'll play ping pong as a game, and tennis is a sport. Pickleball is an abomination.
How does don't you hit the ball off of a wall inside a building? How is squash anything like pickleball?
I don't think it is.
Take that up with Kyle G. It's none of my business.
Yeah, he said that, but I was just looking at video of it, and I'm like, that doesn't look a damn thing like pickleball at all.
Here, you know what? I need to cleanse my palate. So when we come back, we're going to talk some NFL. Okay, I have enough of this garbage. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NFL just a little more than a month away from getting started with the Week 1 matchup between Kansas City and Baltimore. Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill, the betting favorite to lead the league in receiving yards. Hill is at plus 650. Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings is plus 800. CeeDee Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys and Jamar Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals are both plus 850. Amon-Ra St. Brown of the Detroit Lions plus 1,100 to be the receiving yards leader this year. Garrett Wilson of the New York Jets plus 1,400. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Katie Ledecky won gold in the women's 1500 free today, her 12th career Olympic medal and 8th career gold. Ledecky is now tied for the most medals of any American woman and is proud to be part of the club.
Those women that I'm up there with now, they're people that I've looked up to for so many years. I consider many of them friends. That's very special to me to share that with them, and they've definitely inspired me. So I hope that, you know, some little girl out there is watching and will come along and get up there with all of us someday too.
In other swimming today, France's Léon Marchand won gold in both the men's 200 fly and 200 breaststroke, while China's Pan Zhang Li set a world record in winning the men's 100 free. American Tori Husk won silver in the women's 100 free. And the U.S. men's basketball team scored a 103-86 win over South Sudan. They're now 2-0. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ryan Radke, Westwood One Sports.
Are you an oblivious person hogging the sidewalk like a large dying snail? Do people stuck behind you ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have tons of quality beds at every price. So anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
With the first pick. Now that the draft is in the books, it's that time of the season when the team gets together, to get acquainted. Summer means mini camp, OTAs, then pre-season. Keep yourself tuned to the station with all the insight, updates, and breaking news you need to know about the NFL offseason. If it's the NFL, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Stay Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I wanted to take a moment and tell everybody today is National Avocado Day, but I don't have time for that because against the spread, it's got to take Ralph to school now. Says,
I do.
How did Tahiti become France? Are you kidding me? Breaking news, Ralph. There was this little thing called the colonialism. Remember that? Went on for about 5 centuries. Maybe catch up on some history instead of being a hood hopper for 5 different teams in each major sport.
So, oh my God, I would say outside of, the Arizona school system, I went to the LAUSD, which was probably the worst school system in the country. So I don't know that I remember that.
You went to LSD?
LAUSD.
Oh.
Los Angeles Unified School District.
A lot of times I figure you just did LSD.
That was in high school. But
did they teach you where avocados come from when you were there?
Yeah, my backyard.
No, they come from Mexico.
No, they're in my backyard.
8,000 BC, they started eating them in Mexico. Archaeologists found where they were. It's central Mexico, so that's where they came from. And then in 3,000 BC, that's when the Mesoamerican tribes like the Inca and the Maya they started growing domestic avocado trees, so they became trees. And then it wasn't until 1696 till somebody came along and named it. Now, I'm pretty sure the Incans and the Mayans probably had a name for it, but us white people, we're not happy until we name stuff. So he showed up, and the naturalist Sir Hans Sloane says avocado, or the alligator pear tree, avocado. And it was like, wow, thanks, white guy, for coming along and naming something that, well, I mean, we've been eating for 10,000 years, but no, good. Thank God you showed up.
What did they call it when they ate it before the white guy came?
Yummy. So good. Yummy. So anyway, so that's it's avocado day. So have some guacamole or something.
I already did, actually. That's kind of funny.
Oh, cool. Well done. Swazman says, hey, Jeffrey, first NFL game of the season tomorrow. No. It's a pregame. It's the Hall of Fame game. Doesn't matter. Doesn't count.
And
Nobody that matters is going to play. Your Chicago Bears are not going to play the guy you want to see. They are going to play, as you've already figured, your second stringers, Steve McMichael, Devin Hester going to the Hall of Fame. That's nice, but still, you're not. It's just,
why isn't Caleb playing? I mean, honestly, why?
I think he's going to get preseason reps.
This
but
means he's starting.
This
means he's starting
because they're not. It's not just him. It's all the starters. It's not like they put DJ Moore and Keenan Allen out there, but they didn't put out Caleb Williams.
I mean,
those guys aren't playing either.
Because it's an extra game. I mean, is that why? Because don't they get like the extra preseason game?
They don't want to injure the last hope they have.
I just think that I think we're going to see a lot of teams give especially the teams that drafted rookies, give those guys a look in their second preseason game.
And there's another reason that they're not playing the starters. Here's the thing. I don't know if you noticed, but most every team is having joint practices. So they're able to still, in more of a controlled way, get what they need to see out of these players in those circumstances with less chance of injury. Listen, you go out there and stretch out, somebody could pop an Achilles. Right. Yes. But in a preseason game, that I'm going to say that's more, strenuous and less controlled than a group practice. You can like pull this guy out anytime you want of a group practice. It doesn't matter what you do there. So I think a lot of them are counting on the group practices to get the kind of looks they need to see to evaluate, so that's what I think.
The joint practices are actually, in terms of when you're installing your offense or your defense, the plays that are closer to what's going to happen in an NFL season, it's more likely to happen there because it's not being televised. So you're not putting everything you plan on doing this year out there for everybody to see. You're usually playing somebody in the other conference who's not on your schedule.
Yeah.
So you're not in any danger of anybody seeing what you want to do. So you can show the actual thing. So Caleb Williams is going to probably in a joint practice see the closer to an actual NFL defense in the joint practice than he will in the preseason game.
Have you seen the clips of him from camp?
He's looked great.
Camp is camp, though.
No, but his arm is ridiculous.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
and listen, you're playing against people. It's not the same, Ralphie, because the defense is told, don't break those people.
No, I get that, but you can see the talent when he throws. Versus, you've seen guys like who is it? The quarterbacks, both of them that looked really bad already. You've had
Drake May.
I've heard Drake May looked really bad.
Awful.
There's a couple other guys that look really bad. I mean,
oh no, wait, we didn't draft him.
He's got Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, who got Jaden?
Jaden looks great.
Where's Drake May?
Patriots have Drake May.
Patriots have Drake May.
The Patriots got Drake May.
They picked after us.
Jaden Daniels, they're still not calling him a starter yet. Why is that?
Yeah, because they don't want to just crown him. Teams do this stuff.
Drake May won't start.
They want to make him earn it. But the thing is, as long as he doesn't go out there and look disastrous, he's getting the starting job.
Yeah, I got your guy confused with the other guy. My bad. Yeah. I'm just used to you guys having horrible quarterbacks.
Which is fair. Mm-hmm. It's been.
See how he doesn't even get mad because he's like,
25 years.
When the Commanders sign Brandon Ayuk, it's going to be a whole new ballgame because they're going to.
I don't think so.
He'll be there.
I don't think so.
You know it's going to happen.
You say a
No.
lot of crap like that never happens, Ralph.
Because
With
the
absolute
reason
confidence that
is 'cause
never
you
happens.
trade for him, so you have to give up assets, which I know Adam Peters doesn't want to do.
You know,
And
Jane
then-
Daniels is telling him.
And then you've got to sign him as well. So now you're taking up that cap space that you're. Look,
But you
build
don't
your
need it.
team. Go ahead and see what's on the roster. See what you have.
This is my impersonation of Ralph. Peyton Manning is coming back. You can book it.
I hope he does, and I hope he plays for the Colts.
Oh, thank you. I do too.
I just
Wait.
want to see him get killed.
No, you're right. He'd be demolished. I thought you were being nice to me for a second. Then I
I
realized,
really wasn't.
Oh wait, that was like 20 years ago, wasn't it? Okay, that's fine. So the Cardinals are in camp right now, and it's free, by the way, to go out there and check them out.
Gotta have a ticket though.
Yeah, that was surprising. If it's free, why do you need me to get a ticket? I could buy 100 tickets and just never show up. Aha.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no.
guess just to make sure you know you're getting in, as opposed to a first come first serve thing, and then you show up and it's like, no, we're not taking any more people today. You just know, okay, the people who got there and got the ticket, they know they're getting in, even if they're running a little bit late. Even
Everybody's
if whatever.
getting in. They're not sold out of the free tickets.
Well, they're not sold out, but there is a limit to how many people they can hold in the practice
Yeah, 'cause
at any
lower
one
level.
time.
He's lower level only.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not the whole stadium.
I've been there a bunch of times. It was never in any kind of threat of being
but
overflowed.
you still want to have that as an option. Nobody wants to be the
Yeah.
poorly run organization that gets to be in the news because,
Yeah.
well, we thought we weren't gonna sell out. Like, yeah,
All right.
you have to turn people away because
All right.
The Weekend Warriors will be there Saturday
Oh yeah.
after the show. We're going. Yeah.
Oh, I think you just take your stuff and go do the show from there.
No. We're gonna do our show. Then we're gonna go over there. We're gonna check it out. I've never been to one, so I'm actually kind of excited to go see how it works.
Yeah, it's cool. I've been there, and you get to see a lot more than you think you're going to see. And take some binoculars. Seriously.
Yeah. I mean,
Even-
I've been to one, and it was the Washington Redskins back in the day when I lived outside of Ashburn. So that was kind of cool.
No, but for there, it's nice and cool. Everything's great. But if you have binoculars, you trust me, you'll be. I took them when I went, and I was very happy because I was able. Because you're sitting there, everybody's just like little blurs, or whatever, right? Even from the level you're at. But it's even better with binoculars. So just saying. 888-368-1580. Moist one says, "I'll see you there, Ralph."
Oh, we'll be there. We'll be.
No, he'll see you. You're not going to see him.
You'll see me.
He'll be stalking.
he'll
you.
be in bushes. Somewhere.
Right.
Did you know that? Not to go, but did you know that LA is the home of like 5 camps?
Okay.
Did you know that?
Well, you
There's
have
5
like
camps?
you've got the Raiders,
right?
You got the Chargers,
right?
You got the Rams,
right?
You got the Niners.
Nope. You got
Wait.
the Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys are in town, right?
and the Saints.
The
The
Cowboys
Saints?
are in LA
Oh, I didn't know the Saints did that in LA.
because I know the Cowboys usually go to like Oxnard or
Yeah, but
Where'd
they're
the Niners go? Iowa?
I don't know.
That's for Brock Purdy. Anyway, I don't know what I was going to even talk about.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take you off the rails. I just
Pink
looked up-
Eye says, got a rugby question. Yeah, why the hell not? Why do they kick field goals in rugby? And Tyreek Hill would dominate in rugby, by the way. No, he's too small.
Yeah,
Rugby,
yeah.
he'd be obliterated.
Yeah.
As far as kicking field goals,
well,
points.
yeah, you kick for points. I don't know exactly all the rules. Just because I this is probably the most rugby I've watched in
That
my
woman.
life.
Oh, I saw the film of that. What was that? Not the. What's her name? Oh, good lord! She was just trucking She
Yeah.
picked up a girl and carried her with her. What was her name? She's married to one of the other gals on the team. I think it's the New Zealand team.
Oh, yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
God, she was just
Just-
terrifying.
Yeah, just one of the scariest
She
people.
picked up a girl and it kept going with her. So she's like, I don't want to deal with you. You're coming with me. Like, oh my God.
Maybe Tyreek Hill would do well in rugby because there was a guy that used to do track, and then when he didn't make the Olympic team a couple times as a track player, he switched to rugby. And guess what? Sure, you can score if people can't tackle you, but if people can't touch you, that also works. And
Well, that same gal, man, she broke free and ran 99 yards and got the score.
Just
She still
insane.
she still dove in at the end just for fun.
yeah, because you do have to actually, because football evolved out of rugby, and in rugby you have to literally touch the ball down to score, which is where the phrase touchdown comes from.
Rico Suave says Ralph needs binoculars to pee.
I'm not sure how to take that.
Not even sure what that means.
Hefty Lefty says my favorite protest in the Olympics every time. Wait,
is that the one with the horse?
Yeah, I read that.
Oh,
so then he
lovely.
said
Text
pun
line's doing some
intended.
cool things.
Why are you saying pun intended? I don't know what's happening anymore. So this is a nice story out of the Cardinals camp. BJ Ojulari decided to do a nice thing for Marvin Harrison Jr. BJ Ojulari was number 18 in his college career. And then when he came to the NFL, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. shows up and he's like, oh, I'd kind of like to have that. And he's like, you can have it, buddy. And they struck up a conversation and had a nice conversation and just he was just like, I feel like he's a great guy. He deserves it. He's gonna be great for our offense. And it was a no-brainer. This guy was also, though, just saying how he was like, man, I had 18. It meant everything to me to be 18. It was really important to me. It was such a blessing to have the number 18. And then he's like, oh, wait, you want it? Yeah, you're a good guy. You can have it. Ojulari.
Yeah, that
good. Well, what a nice guy.
That's a great locker room guy to like, because you have a locker room where somebody has something that's important and can give it to another guy on the team, and it's offense doing that for defense, which usually that's not a guarantee that happens.
Let me tell you how this goes down if I had the number 18. I'm going to need you to fill out this credit report, Marvin Harrison Jr. And here's an application, and this is how much money you're going to need to pay me. Yeah, no, we can do it on installments. I know you're on a rookie contract and everything, but this is going to cost you. This is going to cost you. But then he's a nice guy, so okay, fine.
Yeah.
So Jaden Daniels is not yet your starting quarterback.
Not yet.
Who else is there?
Yeah, who else is on there?
Marcus Mariota.
Oh,
he could start.
No,
he's not starting.
No.
You don't think he could start just to maybe give him a couple weeks to kind of
I don't think
slide into
he's
it?
Taysom Hill.
They like Jaden Daniels. They like back in
But
the,
is he ready?
In the rookie mini camps, he was telling guys where to line up. He's been in the film, in the playbook. I mean, like he knows the offense. It's bizarre, but they're just like just the way that he processes the game. He also, when he was at LSU, got into virtual reality. So he does a lot of, when he can't be in the building, he does a lot of practice with that, just to seeing the formations and seeing where he's supposed to be going with his eyes. And he's just taken that to the NFL, and it's really helping him learn. I think he is going to be ready.
Hefty Lefty says Emmett's on the pup list for the next week. Should be fine for week 1 of the preseason. F the process says they kicked that extra point after a try. Touchdown, field goal if there is a penalty for 3 points, or they can drop kick it for 3 points at any time. Most of the time, it's a design play. Moist One says they started a rumor that Jazz Chisholm was going to wear number 2 for the Yankees, and the fits people were having.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That's a fun rumor.
That number is off limits, and everyone knows.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got on this date in Big George's sports history and whatever else football we can fit in. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data, all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 on a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher-end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
One of the most common questions people ask is if they can still afford to retire on $1 million or $2 million anymore. With stocks near all-time highs and bonds at all-time lows, it's actually a great question. 2008 taught millions of retiring engineers, teachers, and other professionals a costly lesson that years of market gains can be wiped out in just weeks of market losses. Not a problem if you're 30 years old with a few decades to make it back, but not if you are in retirement or almost there. I like to follow the 30-50-70 rule. The closer you are to 50 or 70, then at least 30 to 50% of your money should be kept safe at all times, like in an uncapped, principal secure, next generation annuity. Come and see why.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now at 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with Steve. Call 480-902-3333 and visit iqannuity.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, so word on the street is that the NFL is going to test optical tracking for first downs in the preseason. So I think the optical tracking, I thought they were going to put computer chips inside the balls at the tips. And so what is optical tracking? I mean, I know that they're,
maybe that's what they mean. I don't know.
No, they're saying they're going to be testing Sony's Hawkeye cameras. Yeah, but what if you can't see the ball?
Aren't those the ones they use for tennis?
Yeah, but if you can't see the ball under a pile, how do you know how far forward it is gone? But if it had the chips in it,
good point.
Then you just gotta go make sure you got good Wi-Fi, I guess. I don't know. GPS little nubs or something inside the stadium. So I don't know about this whole Hawkeye camera thing for football. Great for baseball. Great for tennis. I don't know about this.
I'm glad at least they're trying something.
Yeah, but this is not the thing. Chips in the ball. That's the thing. Or a chip in the ball with the sensors at the tips. That gives you a 3D rendering inside of like a GPS has got. So yeah. Moisson says hot guy camera. No, Hawkeye. Okay.
That's a selective hearing again.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Anyway, so they're going to try that during preseason. But like I said, I
don't know how it works. I know that there's I know how it works because it's multiple cameras from multiple different angles all over the stadium. But like you said, like football is a sport that a ball can be buried underneath a pile of people. There wouldn't be any angle for some plays, where it's like a first and like if the Eagles are doing like a 4th and 1 and they do that tush push with Jalen Hurts and they get the first down, that ball's under a sea of people. How are you supposed to get any angle on that?
That's what I'm saying. So I think my idea is better. Well, whatever. If they think, well, it just makes it easier, we bring in something that's already in existence that somebody else can use rather than, I don't know, innovation, which might cost $1 or $2. Okay, fine. Whatever you want to do.
We just don't want to bother with the billions.
Whatever. Hefty Lefty says the balls already have chips in them. That's why you can't keep the balls that go into the stands. Who said that? I thought there's been people left the games with those balls.
I thought you could keep them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Cam Newton notoriously would score and literally hand it to kids.
Unless you got goons that go up there and say, give it back. I don't think that's true, Hefty. So Patrick Mahomes, given the success that he's helped bring the Kansas City Chiefs, you'd think he'd be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. We talked about this the other day. He's not. But you know how it is. There's always a new contract that comes. But this was surprising. He's actually tied for 11th place with Kirk Cousins of the Atlanta Falcons. They both pull down $45 million a year. And Patrick doesn't feel bad. I'm sure you guys saw the quote. He's just like, it's about having good dialogue, good communication with the front office. We've done that here. And we've been able to allow me to be a highly paid guy at the same time, build a great team around me. So he knows it's like the Tom Brady theory, and the money's going to find him at the end there. And he says, I'm doing pretty well myself. He says, for me, it's just about going out there, trying to win games, trying to make money for my family at the end of the day. Yeah, I think I'm doing a great job of that. So then somebody came up with cash flow, sort of calculations on that. Turns out on cash flow, he's killing it. So, he's got his money figured out. That's great. But it's always better when these guys don't care that much. Also, how nice would it be to not care?
It would be
to
very
get
nice.
so much money that you're like, yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah. And also at the point he was paid, the cap's gone up since then. So obviously people are it's the percentage really that people are looking for. So obviously
he ain't poor.
Yeah. And the other issue is his deal is for 10 years.
Yeah, $500 million.
Wow.
And
that's going to get restructured again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Sooner than later.
But no one has security like that.
Yeah. He's fine. He's fine. By the way, don't worry about Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce. Now he ain't Travis ain't ever going to have Taylor Swift money, but right now they're talking like $100 million deal for the New Heights podcast.
It's crazy.
$100 million just for hanging around shooting the bleep with your
one
brother.
day a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Pretty good.
And it's a really good podcast, but man, that is just
they're not going to get that.
It's a lot of money.
I don't know if it's 100 million good.
No, it's not.
I don't think so. But that doesn't mean that someone won't be stupid enough to pay it. That's a different conversation.
There are some other podcasts that probably aren't even as good as this one that are making stupid money. Now, again, great money if you can get it. It helps that they're already famous. So if you are not famous, do not think you're going to flip on a switch and suddenly have a podcast that's making $100 million. And there's famous people making tons of money doing the podcast. You are not going to be one of them unless you're already famous. So, but as far as this goes, 100 million, 50 for Travis. It's still not Taylor Swift money, but it helps.
It's nice.
He has spent a lot of money dating her.
You can, yeah, he's gonna continue to be okay doing that.
Afty Lefty says, no, they switched those balls out. There was an article about it a couple of years ago. Well, this must be a newer thing because in the past, they just got to take them home. Gamecock says, most of the time in all sports, high-paid contracts don't work. Patrick's missing, he's just a diamond in the rough right there. Yeah, he's listen, if they win another Super Bowl this year, I don't know what to tell you. I wonder if there's anything in that contract where he can say, hey guys, 3 Super Bowls. I think I need some more money here or I'll retire.
Yeah. I mean, if he wants to have that conversation and the cap will have gone up, and then he'll be able to discuss that with the team. He's currently on the, his cap hit is 15% of the Chiefs salary cap, but in the next 3 years, it's going to be around 25%.
There's guys that are already at 23 to 24%.
There is a possibility that the cap could actually recede if this NFL Sunday ticket thing goes badly for the NFL. Jerry Jones has even sort of said, there's going to be a lot of ramifications on the cap if the Sunday ticket thing goes through. And you could see a great restriction in these new contracts.
We talked about this Saturday. What do we do about these caps? Because the quarterbacks are getting so much ridiculous. I mean, look what we just gave Jordan Love. That was just stupid, right? $55 million for a guy with 1 year of experience. What do you do in the NFL at this point? There's talk about the cap, not the quarterbacks not counting against the cap. There's a lot of different things going around. I know you want to say something, but what do you do? Because I mean, you can't keep continuing to pay these outrageous salaries. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I know that people want to separate the quarterback from the cap, but the way you do that, because then there's no cap on what you would pay a quarterback.
Positional caps.
Can you put a cap on the position?
You'd put
then it's weird, right?
So yeah, because then how would you calculate the quarterback cap? Like that's a weird. It's already a weird. Here's what you do. Don't be stupid. Like bad teams are going to get punished for this. The reason why the Packers are having to pay Jordan Love off for 1 year of experience is because they drafted a guy who could not play until recently. That's
Yeah.
their fault. The timing and the timeline of that's on them.
But he's worth $55 million, the top paid player in the league. I mean, really? Come on, not even close.
It's.
Let me tell you,
the price of not having a guy is worth $55 million. You need a guy that can get you in the door of the playoffs.
Let me tell you a little something.
That's what the price appears to be for a lot of these guys.
These owners who cry about the cap love when the cap doesn't go up. They love when the cap is smaller and tighter because that means they can turn to the players and say, hey, we can only do so much. And they don't have to write these bigger contracts and they don't have to spend more money. If this Sunday ticket thing goes through, I almost feel like the owners would be like, all right, well, this sucks a lot, but we're going to get our benefit and we're going to shrink caps and try to get some of these damn contracts under control.
Yeah, but you're going to hamstring certain teams the minute you do that.
And a
lot
group,
of those owners aren't going to want that.
As a group, no, they don't mind not having to pay that extra $50 million.
Well, I get that, but think about the hamstring you're going to put on.
But yeah,
teams.
and
some teams will not be happy, but for the most of them, they're going to be like, oh, good, because now I can, in my negotiations, I can go, hey, don't blame me, it's the cap.
And I just think that if you don't have a Jordan Love, you don't sniff the playoffs.
Oh no, you made a great point. Yeah, I agree with you.
Like you just don't.
Who else would they go get? There's no one out there.
And it's not Jordan Love's fault they drafted him while they already had Aaron Rodgers. That's why people were saying specifically that's a bad idea for that reason. Because you're trying to get more out of a quarterback while he's still on the rookie deal.
Want to hear another bad idea? Moist one says, Ralph, want to start a podcast with me?
I've already got 3. I'm good.
After the process says, yeah, I like how the owners messed up, but now they're going to punish the players. Yeah, this is going to squeeze back on the players. And Jerry Jones has said as much. He says, woo, it's got to be considered. Don't make me flare, but it's a fact. I think I know better than anybody what the cap's going to be 4 years from now. Woo! Players going to get screwed.
I mean, it's weird. You look at the NFL and the revenue last year was $18 billion.
Yeah. The cap is how the owners don't actually have to pay players their full value.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because that's the thing is if you remove the cap from quarterbacks, there would be no limit to what you'd be paying these guys.
But the NFL is I hate to say this, but they're too big. No, they are.
Good luck with that.
They're too big. That's the problem.
Against the spread says, but in the NFL, if you don't have a quarterback, you ain't got jack squat. By the way, as a Bears fan, I'm happy Caleb Williams doesn't play one down in preseason.
First of all, I'd say tell the Ravens and Trent Dilfer that they won a Super Bowl with him. So that's not totally true.
But that's
you can
the
have
thing is like
you can have a team around a decent quarterback.
As long as the team you have is the greatest defense of that generation, like
that helps.
Of that generation, not all time.
Generation
of that particular.
My point is,
20-year window.
You could put the money somewhere else and build around a good quarterback versus having this guy you're paying all this money to.
And that is another strategy. I think we are going to see some teams do that.
Ralph wants
enough
to
around.
redo the entire NFL in 2 minutes we have left on the show.
I'm trying.
Okay. It's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1935, Kitty Burke, an avid Cincinnati Reds fan, annoyed at Ducky Medwick's retort to her heckling by telling her, "You couldn't get hit if you were swinging an elephant," grabbed Babe Herman's bat as he came to the plate in the bottom of the 8th. She came on the field demanding an at-bat. After some consternation, St. Louis Cardinals pitcher Paul Dean said, "All right, fine." Tossed her a ball underhanded. By the way, she's a popular local nightclub blues singer. And she swung and she actually grounded it out to the pitcher. Everybody's like was thrilled. So yeah, she got a hit.
You say Ducky?
Yeah, Ducky Medwick. You remember him?
I love the names back then.
They were way better. They
just were, yeah, because people just didn't care. They named him anything.
You're like Ducky Medwick,
Ducky Fanny.
Nowadays, you're like, here comes Chad.
Yeah,
okay, that's great. Babe Herman and Ducky Medwick. See that? You're right, Ralph. That's when baseball was way cooler.
It was cool back then.
No, it was just because of the names.
It was a little racist, but it was cool.
See, that's the downside. Tons and tons of filthy racists.
Just had to throw that in there. I mean,
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That's why you got to get to like the Bob Gibson era, where it was we were just getting past the racism.
Yeah,
it was as good as cool as it could be with as little racism as humanly possible. It's just
Moist one says Dizzy Dean probably wanted to give her the Dizzy D, if you know what I mean. Yes,
Wow.
Moist one,
Wow.
thank you.
Wow. This is why I
Lacrosse,
won't do a podcast.
lacrosse guy says the most ironic thing is the NFL is a non-profit charity. Now that's got to be
That's ironic.
We got to do something about that because I'm sorry. They should be taxed like everyone else is so those billions can be used. They're already funding everything the NFL does.
Half the process says maybe you could do a luxury tax, but it'd still be messy. A luxury tax.
It would be messier. Look at the NBA.
Yeah.
Ralph is right. The NFL has gotten way too big for its britches, and there's no going back unless there's some sort of a scandal or lawsuit or government intervention, and that's the last thing we need more of in this place.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. We'll be back in your radios again tomorrow at 3 p.m., so come on back or don't. I don't give a crap what you do. I mean, let's be honest. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.